Come on in, sit right down. Keep your hands up, keep your chin down. Shut the door. Time to go with Randy Harrison. Knockout Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockout Radio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere. For Knockout Radio, I'm the voice, Ray Flores. And now, here's Knockout Radio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
Just taking a moment here as we get ready to start today's show. Kind of on a downer again. You know, we could do a 10-bell salute probably every Wednesday, every day of the week. And I struggled with whether to do it today.
Okay.
As you know, you came on and you said, are we going to do a 10-bell? And I said no, because, you know, we've talked about this. And like I said, we could literally do a 10-bell every week. People pass away every week. Acquaintances of the show, me personally, you personally, Leslie running around a Walmart right now personally. And I said, we're only going to do it for people involved in the show, friends of the show, people that, you know, we hang out with. Well, there was a passing last weekend, and I'd talked to him once or twice. I think you've only talked to him once or twice. I know you stopped in at Duke Rufus's gym. But, you know, I made a corporate decision. And because he meant and means so much to the mixed martial art world, to the combat sports world, I've personally never heard a bad word about him. Not that that would change anything. And I just, not 5 minutes ago, did something I very rarely do, change my opinion.
Okay.
And so
I'm glad.
We started the show with the 10-bell. Numerous people that we will talk about that have passed away over the last couple days. But I agree with you, and kind of like my wife documented when I said I was right, that she was right on something this morning. And she even wrote down the time, and she said, I've never said that. I'm going to agree. You were right. I'm not going to say I was wrong, but you were right. And the 10-bell salute for Duke Rufus, very well known, very well respected, passed away in his sleep. I could go on. I don't want to right now. Maybe that'll be for the next person that we're going to talk about that's passed away. So may Duke Rufus rest in peace. May his friends, his family, fighters that he's worked with, you know, both of the Pettises considered and still do Duke their second father.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you just stopped in at his gym a couple years ago out of the clear blue, like you tend to do, dropped a few names, and they welcomed you with open arms.
They even gave me a shirt. They gave me a free shirt, Rufus Sport, you know, T-shirt, and great place, great. You know, I think that's what people that outside of the MMA community don't really get. They see the barbaric fights, they see the gruesomeness, they see the blood, they see the aggression and the disrespect at press conferences and weigh-ins. But these are families, you know, and the head coach, you know, is really a father figure for a lot of young men and women that have nowhere else to turn to or chasing a dream. And you know, so it means a lot to the MMA community, the Duke's role and importance. Yeah.
Back up just a tad. You're a little too close to the microphone now, and you're popping every second word.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Try to be a professional.
But these MMA gyms, you know, they're families. They're extensions of families, and for some people, it's all they have. And you know, Duke is one of those guys that you knew that if they ever needed to, you could go.
Keep talking. I'm just telling you to back up a little.
Go to Minnesota or Wisconsin. Go to Wisconsin, and you could go to Milwaukee, and you could walk in and have an instant family built in just by being associated. So the world lost a great resource and a great man and a great leader and coach. And so 10 bells was definitely deserved.
Also reported, and again, not going to comment too much until all the details come out. And I don't know, we don't know if all of the details will ever come out regarding former Buccaneer Doug Martin, who passed away. I'm not going to mention names, but I have spoken to a person or two, and they agreed with me, not just with Doug Martin, but anybody in general. And let's be honest, even with Duke, does it matter? Yeah, it does matter how somebody passes away, as to feelings, as to comments. Doug Martin allegedly, and we don't know any of the details yet, but involved in a break-in. Now, was he breaking into somebody's house? Was somebody breaking into a house he was in? I mean, again, we don't know any of the details. And allegedly there was a scuffle. And I've heard both, that Doug Martin passed away in the police cruiser. I've heard that he passed away in the hospital. We don't know. But Doug Martin, former Buccaneer, wasn't he called the muscle hamster or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I use Doug Martin's reference often because people talk about cardio being the way to lose weight, and I'm like, well, if that was the case, then every hamster or gerbil running on a wheel would be the fittest animal. They would all look like the muscle hamster from the Buccaneers, but they don't, because cardio is not the key to building muscle. It's time under tension. So so the muscle hamster. Terrible, man. But
yeah, I mean, it's definitely terrible. But like I said, I'm going to hold out.
Yeah, because we don't know enough to even comment on it.
Exactly.
And so I mean, who knows what's going on? I mean, unfortunately, we know history of retired athletes that are dealing with mental issues and neurological issues and addiction issues from pain medications and concussions. And we just saw Mike Evans take a gruesome concussion on football Monday night against the Lions, and he broke his collarbone in the process. So who knows what kind of pain medications they'll put him on, and what kind of, So a lot of these athletes we see at their, on the highlight reels, when the game's over and they're dealing with these injuries on their own, and it can be a dark place. And so you just never really know what's going on in someone's life years down the road after they're out of the limelight and off of the media TV circuit and off of the player depth chart. So hopefully the story comes out, and I mean, I guess it makes it justifiable or better if the cops did wrongdoing. Is that what we're hoping for, Randy?
No, not at all.
Are you hoping that the cops beat him or killed him while in custody? Or I mean, are we hoping for that instead of him being on
why
a
would you hope? Hold on. Why would you hope for that?
Well, does it matter how he dies? Like you said, it matters. You said it matters if he committed suicide, if he overdosed, if he was breaking the law and he resisted authorities. So it matters how he dies. Would it be better for him if he was a victim of police brutality in this case, or something that he did that caused this to end his life?
Would it be better for him, or would it be better for society?
For his reputation, for just
why? That's a stupid question. Well, that's a stupid question.
But this is highly profile. I mean, this is a big case. It's going to get a lot of scrutiny. It's going to mirror the George Floyd, or maybe the Rodney King. I mean, to have a prolific NFL star die in police custody.
Star? Come on.
I mean, he was a running back. And
that doesn't make him a star. Doesn't make him
a big star here. He was a star here.
Yeah, I don't even think and no disrespect, he was a football player in the NFL. He was a good football player in the NFL. That changes nothing. How he died, in my opinion, definitely matters. And when I was speaking to someone who had played with Doug Martin, and we were talking about things, and it kind of came up, that there are things, people that know, whether it's Doug Martin or anybody else. So yes, it does matter. Does it matter to me? I'll ask you as well. Does it matter to you if somebody passes away in their sleep due to natural causes, or they take so much drugs that they die due to the drug that they took, or if they took their own life? I think all that matters. It's different.
I mean, and there's a photograph circulating here in the Tampa Bay area of Mike Williams, Vincent Jackson, and Doug Martin, all three of them hugging on the field after a play or a celebration, and all three of them are dead. You know, Vincent Jackson was found dead in a hotel in Brandon, Florida. Suspected overdose, I think it was. Mike Williams had a traumatic brain injury or head injury at a construction site.
Well, I read something, just so you know, I did read up something about that when the photo was circulating around. And they said that it wasn't his death, according to what I was reading, wasn't necessarily related to the head injury on the construction site. That it that it had something to do with sepsis and some kind of injury, and that he was dealing with, and then that.
That's wild you said that, because sepsis, it seems to be from a blunt object. Like there's a very famous lady in Brazil, like a fitness influencer, and she was carjacked. Like last week, she was robbed at gunpoint, and as she was trying to get out of the vehicle because I think she had a knee surgery and she was not very mobile. As she was trying to get out, she bruised her hip, and that swelling led to sepsis and put her in the hospital. And people don't really realize that taking trauma physically can lead to bacterial and internal issues, and sepsis is no joke. I mean that kills.
Well, that was the start of what took my dad. Was a surgery that, looking back, we all think, I believe most of my family felt it when they did it, that it was silly. To take skin cancer out of somebody in his mid-80s is kind of foolish. It's not going to kill them instantly, yet taking it out was the start of killing him instantly, which was sepsis. And then it went from there to it's paralyzed and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, people don't realize. They think sepsis, they just think something minor, something you can catch rolling around on a gym floor or something. And it is much, much, much more than that. And the third person, in that picture that you were talking about was Doug Martin. So one was tragic. Okay, in my opinion, and I'm going to stand firm on my opinion, if you take your own life, you are not in the same category as someone who dies from an accident, from somebody that dies in a car accident, that somebody dies crossing the street. If you take your own life, it puts you, in my opinion, in a totally different category. We don't know yet the Doug Martin situation.
Yeah.
The Mike Williams, either way, whichever way it is, and I'm not a doctor and I barely know how to read, so I probably didn't read, the report that I was reading correctly, whether it was the sepsis or whether it was the concrete beam, either one, that is an accident. And losing your life to an accident, I believe, is different than if you take your own life or if you take a substance that takes your own life, et cetera, et cetera.
Did I see Gerald McCoy? Did he post on Facebook or Twitter?
I'm sure he did.
Five teammates dead. I'll be back. I'm done with this for a while, like social media.
Yep.
I mean, losing 5 teammates. I don't know who the other 2 were that he was referencing, but maybe like Ray Caruth. Was he part? Did he die? No, he was the one that killed people.
Yeah.
Like he killed his baby.
He should have been killed, but
just with the whole, 5 teammates, and that's a lot.
Well, I'm sure quite a few players have lost a lot of players. I mean, over time, how many Tampa Bay Buccaneers have passed away? I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that it's only 5.
What's crazy is, like, at Tour de Pizza, I mean, over the 15 years that I owned it, I believe 7 of my former employees are no longer alive.
Well, that's what you do to people.
No, that's what OxyContin did to people. That's what fentanyl did, and that's what happens at the street level when these young kids come in and they don't have, proper guidance, and they're strung out on the street and they can't have insurance to help them, and then they turn to the street narcotics, and they kept catching bad bags of fentanyl. I mean, it was like Russian roulette. And when you talk to them, they knew it was Russian roulette, and they were okay with, hey, if I go, that's, it wasn't me taking myself out. It was, I just had bad luck.
No, it was you
And,
taking yourself out.
well,
People.
that's not the way they justified it. And I would talk to them in depth. I mean, you have to address it as a business owner. You're like Duke Rufus. You're a father figure. You're a mentor. You're the leader. You're the one that's paying their wages through life. You're creating opportunities. You're giving them employment.
Hold on. I love you to death, Matthew McClellan.
Yeah.
But to compare the employees that worked for you,
yeah,
and you a quote unquote father figure. Come on, I was around some of those people. They never thought of you as a family figure like the Pettises thought of Duke Rufus. They thought of you as a paycheck. They were loyal. They were loyal to you because you were paying them.
For sure.
But in no way would I put any of those people that ever worked for you, and you know how many I knew, the day you stopped paying them, most of them, was the day you never heard from them again. With Duke, when fighters left that gym, that it was a totally different feeling.
Yeah.
You were a great. You were a great boss. You were a great.
The terms are different though. But the terms are different because they were paying to be a part of the gym. Like my staff didn't come in and pay me to be a part of Tour de Pizza, right? Like I was paying them to be a part of my.
You tried to have them pay you to work there.
How do I do that?
it just wasn't successful. All right, new schedule. So we're taking less breaks now. So we blew through the first one. It's time to take the first one, and we'll try to stay on this new schedule at least for the first hour. So coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility in Pinellas County, and Matt in his dungeon somewhere in Tampa. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
John Owen, you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is. The Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. At West Florida Roofing, they know how much of a financial burden a new roof can be. So not only do they offer extremely competitive prices, but they are offering up to 130 feet of gutters and downspouts absolutely free with a full roof replacement. Plus, financing is also available. I recently hired West Florida Roofing to replace my entire roof, and I couldn't be happier. From contract to cleanup, they did an amazing job. Call Joe today at 813-282-4000. This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call up at 727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Mike Ditka, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back, coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility here in Pinellas County. Matt in the dungeon, Leslie Lacey at Walmart. Mike Stratka will be coming on hour number 3, I believe. And we'll talk more to him about the BKFC Frankie Edgar situation. We'll talk about that in a second, Matt. We're going to talk about the NFL. We'll talk about the Monday night game. I have some comments about that. But let's move ahead, and then we're going to go back and look at maybe last week. Big heavyweight fight this Saturday afternoon. So, I'm going to like that because it's during the day. I don't have to stay up till 2 in the morning. Give me your thoughts on the Aspinall-Gane fight.
It has to. I mean, Aspinall has to win convincingly. Otherwise, all this last 2 years of him begging to fight John Jones is irrelevant. And if you can't get past Gagne, then you have no
60
business.
seconds. He said 60 seconds.
Yeah.
He was asked, I guess, Gane made a comment about taking Aspinall into heavy waters. And Tom's response was, what happens every time someone says the word heavy waters? 60 seconds. I'll knock him out in 60 seconds. Here's why this fight is intriguing. Okay. And I have to be honest, I'm not excited about it.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. I don't anticipate Gane winning. If Tom's half as good as he thinks he is, half as good as who his fans think he is, then and if people really truly believe that John Jones ran from Tom Aspinall, how quickly did John Jones beat Gagne? Then this should be a very quick fight. But the reason that people are going to tune in, the reason that people are going to want to watch this fight, because the John Jones fans want to watch Aspinall lose.
Sure.
They're rooting for him to lose.
Of course.
Or they're rooting for him to have to go into the 4th round, the 5th round, go into those deep waters that he claims he's not going to go into. I'm going to watch because it should be over by 6, 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Did Gagne, did he ever take up Khabib and go to Kazakhstan and learn how to grapple and wrestle? Like, I know there was an open invite.
I think I read something that he did a couple, not necessarily with him. And so that's been the comment. You're not going to learn in 3 classes, how to wrestle, how to stop a takedown. But 2 title fights, will be Saturday afternoon. So that's one that we can talk about now, next hour, and over the next couple hours. Another cluster F with refereeing and a fight that happened in Vancouver.
Big Dan Margliada, your boy, Big Dan.
As
crucial mistake.
As a commissioner, and I chuckle inside, not outside, and I'm talking to you. How do we stop this? If you mess up, which he did, and he stopped the fight early. So Nelson ground and pound, throwing some serious bombs, if I won't get banned for that word. The round doesn't end. It hasn't ding, ding, ding. The referee stops the fight while all the ground and pound is going. How do you start it back up? Whether it's 3 seconds or 14 seconds or 42 seconds.
And it's tough. I mean, the referee is the final judge, jury, and executioner in the moment. So when they wave it off, it's over, like regardless. And he said he thought he heard a bell. He thought he heard the horn. 3 seconds left. And Matt Friola, the steamroller, was on the losing end of that mistake. So, I would say in that situation, I would say it should go to a committee. I think that the 3 judges at ringside should make the determination to restart it. I mean, that would be the most fair thing. I mean, it wasn't
the judges can't make that decision.
But it wasn't an eye poke or something that was limited. I mean, it just stopped. What's the difference between 3 seconds? Was he really going to get knocked out in the last hammer fist? Most likely would have gone to the next round. He would have gone to the stool. There was no foul or physical infraction that would limit the fighter's ability to continue on. It was just a scorekeeper's error. So since he waved it, 3 seconds, okay, let's go to your corners, reset, come back out. I think they should have restarted that fight. I don't think they should have ended that with the way it ended.
Well, and here's the clip that I saw Nelson say, that and neither one of us, no matter how much we want to say we train or we do this or we do that, we haven't done it to this level. So Nelson said that he emptied the gas tank. He knew it was the end of the round. He threw as much as he could, and it took him quite a while, to recoup from that. He knew there was 10 seconds left. How does the referee not know there's 10 seconds left? Now 7 seconds left.
Well, I mean, what if a fan brings in an air horn? I mean, I've been at boxing commission sanctioned boxing events where they don't have a bell. They just use an air horn to end the round. So if a fan brings in an air horn and they hear the clap and the referees are watching, and then somebody from the crowd air horns it and the ref waves off the fight or calls it, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, how do you know? I mean, it's I think there should be like at least a review or a committee, something in real time to make that determination to keep the fans' experience going. Like, they deserve to see that fight finish.
I understand there's a lot of commotion going on in the middle of a fight.
A lot.
The referee's job is obviously on the two fighters. Okay. So I'm not going to compare to us sitting in the media section when we're fortunate enough to be on the media section on the floor. If we're in the 100 level, if we're up in the top, it's totally different. But if you're sitting in the 100 or in the media section on the floor, you can hear the horn. You can hear, the two sticks coming together. If somebody's going to have that horn in the 100 level, you can tell how far away it is. Now, again, I'm not saying I'm a referee and I'm refereeing. I mean, I've heard it while I'm judging. So you can tell where that sound is coming from. So if you heard that air horn and it's in the 100 level or in the 200 level, you're going to know that's not the air horn from the timekeeper that's sitting 6 feet away from you.
Unfortunately, in this case, there was no air horn from the crowd or someone that actually caused it. It was just right. Dan in his own head thought he heard the end of the round and waved off the fight. Right? That's a mistake from the ref. And look, I don't know if refs should do cognitive exercises. Should they do neurological training? Like this week in Tampa, Dave & Buster's announced a new menu focused on cognitive function for 50-year-old plus men and women to come back to Dave & Buster's for cognitive function with hand-eye coordination, screen time, socialization, etc. So should our referees and judges in combat sports be subjected to neurological training? Not physical, not combat training, but neurological training to be in the sympathetic response where seconds matter and life and death is at stake. Should they be subjected to a yearly course where they're working on cognitive drills and cognitive function and being in the conscious mind of what's going on in the real time, but also subconsciously aware of their surroundings? I mean, I could put together a course like that. I could certify.
Oh, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could.
That's what I do.
How much would you pay every referee to come and do it?
The same I paid my employees to work at Tour de Pizza.
Okay, so $25 an hour.
Bro, that's a good paycheck. $25 an hour is not to laugh at.
I don't think this mistake needs that kind of outcome. It was, and I haven't heard if Dan has said anything about it. I don't know, but obviously it was a mistake. Obviously he thought he heard something. Did he hear the 10 second and then he just thought it went off 3 seconds early? Because let's be honest, have you ever timed it sometimes? I have.
It's a little
I've done it before.
It's off.
It's off the 10 second with 10 seconds left. I've looked at my watch. I've looked at the time and it's 13 seconds. So now it's 13 seconds for your bam, 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 and then 13 seconds before the end of the round. So
that's the question. If you clap 3 times, does the 10 seconds start on the first click or on the last click? And that's a 3-second variance.
No, you clap on the ceiling if you're Tony Orlando.
Oh yeah.
You're too young to know that song. It's called Knock 3 Times.
Oh, I thought it was Dancing on the Ceiling, like Lionel Richie.
That's Lionel Richie.
But I mean, so depending on where you start the counter at, like it changes how much time they're actually fighting
With
inside.
left. No, I would
Right.
think if it's done properly, I would think you clap at the 10 minute at the 10 seconds.
That's when you start.
You started at
So,
the
so
10
you
seconds.
finish, your last clap should be at the 7-second mark.
No,
And then that, what?
you think each one is a second?
You
Bam,
don't
bam,
think so?
bam, bam, bam. You think?
I mean, it depends on, let's do it right now. What do I have to clap
All right,
together?
hold on. I'll do the timer.
Okay.
We're going to do our own test right now, live on this here radio.
All right.
Go to the time. All right. When I say go, you just say clap, clap, clap. Go. Yeah, that was 3 seconds. All right, let's try it again. Now you didn't start it right away, so you got to start it as soon as I say go. You ready?
So you say
Get
go.
them close. Get them close. Go. All right, that was 2.5, and it took you a half a second at least to start.
Go.
One more time, because this is fun. 3, 2, 1. Well, you waited forever, and that was 2.5. So now, but it probably takes a second and a half.
So yeah, I mean, so does the 10-second counter stop, like start on the last click, or does it start when the first one? That's a variance. That's a big variance.
No, it'd be the first. So
because we saw the Korean Zombie in Yar Rodriguez, 1 second left at the 25th minute, 24 minutes and 59 seconds, and in an elbow, so 1 second can change the entire fight. So every round you have a variance of 2.5 to 3 seconds, depending on who the timekeeper is, when they start the clicks, and when the timekeeper stops the competition.
Yeah, it's supposed to go with 10 seconds left. So if they do it, and it'll never be exactly on time, but they're supposed to go as soon as it's 10 seconds, bam, bam, bam. Now, it could be, I've never heard it going bam, bam, bam. It's pretty quick. Clip, clip, clip. It's just to let you know there's 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
interesting.
But, let's put together a course for coaches, for, timekeepers. Like I'll put together like a neurological training device course where they can stimulate, be consciously aware, but also aware of the surroundings and subconscious function.
Yeah, I think you could stimulate all these referees by having them pay you not to show up.
Listen, I know you don't think of my influence in the combat sport world is going to be big, but stuff like this, neural inflammation for cognitive function, for concussion protocol. If you could call Mike Evans and we can get him a bottle of this, we can start his treatment right away, get him back to good health. But after traumatic brain injury, glutathione is the key.
I'm not saying nothing.
I mean, it works.
I'm just
going
to
work.
I
mean, look at my skin. It's glowing. Look at that.
That's beautiful. Let's talk some NFL. The NFL just announced that the Pro Bowl is being moved out of Orlando. I'm surprised it took so long. Nobody wants to go to Orlando. The players don't want to go to Orlando. They're not to a man, but most of them like the free trip to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's nice.
They can get to Orlando.
Yeah.
The Hawaii thing, back in the day, it used to travel around. Well, I have a feeling because of where they just moved it to, it will be Tuesday, Super Bowl week in San Francisco. So I have a feeling that's going to be the new schedule, that the Pro Bowl will be in the Super Bowl city. That's makes some sense. Yeah. Hawaii is good for the players. They bring their family. It's a free trip, blah, 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 blah. Again, they make enough money. It doesn't have to be free. But so many players go to the Super Bowl week. They do Radio Row. They do the parties. They do all that kind of stuff. This is kind of just built in. Beautiful. Okay. It's Tuesday. Hopefully they move the media party out of Tuesday so you can go to the Pro Bowl, cover that on Tuesday, and then you can do the media party for whoever's left.
I mean, this year's Super Bowl might be just action-packed, star-studded.
Well, you think just adding the Pro Bowl is going to change it that much?
It's kind of like a UFC fight, like if the first couple of days is like a ramp up period, like the prelims and the early card. And, then you get to Friday and Saturday, and then everybody's in town, all the big mega parties and stuff. So yeah, I think having an event like that gets people there early and like, hey, well, let's just stay the rest of the week and just enjoy the festivities.
Or it moves some of the parties. It moves them from Friday and Saturday to maybe
Tuesday,
Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Because they'll have so many other, NFL stars there, to do the charity events and do, all the things they're going to do. They can now do those on, late Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Now, I don't remember. I've only been to San Francisco once, but I do remember I thought California was warm. I got there and I was underdressed and highly shocked at how cold it was, how misty and like kind of just overcast. And I froze my ass off. I think it might have been the coldest I've ever been in my life. So San Francisco during this February.
Yeah, it's still winter.
It's kind of shocking that they would have the Super Bowl in such a cold climate.
Nah, not really. I mean,
There's no dome there. It's outdoor stadium.
No, I understand, but they play football in the cold. They play it in the snow. They play it in Green Bay. They play it in New England. It's still.
When was the last time the Super Bowl? When was the last time the Super Bowl was outdoors in a cold city?
New York.
When?
Maybe 8 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All you people that are watching and listening and chatting, New Jersey. It was played in New Jersey.
Okay. But yeah, usually it's like in either a dome, like they had it in Indianapolis, they had it, or it's in like a warm stadium like Tampa or Miami or New Orleans.
For a long time, they said they would never go back to a cold. There was one year in Atlanta, it snowed so bad. They're like, we're not even coming back to Atlanta, which they have. But, the rotation, Miami's in the rotation, New Orleans in the rotation. Las Vegas is now going to be in the rotation on a regular basis. So there's going to be at least 4 or 5 cities that are always in that rotation. So, it could be 8, 9, 10 years until you come back to somebody that's not in that rotation, like probably Tampa, like probably Atlanta. They went to Dallas, it snowed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who would have thunk that? And it was bad snow. I remember the year that it was in Detroit. It was so cold, it was brutal, which doesn't affect the game because they do have a dome. But like, we kind of just mentioned, it affected, the NFL experience, all that stuff that was outside. Now it was so cold, unless you're an Eskimo, you ain't going. But where we are going is to break. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is James Brown from Sporting News Radio, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Yo, maniacs, Hulk Hogan here, the greatest of all time, and you're listening to Knockout Radio. So what you gonna do?
All right, we're back. I'm coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility here in Pinellas Park, getting a redo, a makeover. I'm taking some photos. Joe Marquis will be here next weekend. He's going to put up some TV screens. We're going to put a roof on here. It's going to make it looking pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. And I do want to mention that liner. You know, I'm still sort of in a really weird way struggling with the fact that Hulk Hogan is no longer here. You know, there's just certain people that just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't feel right.
Ace Frehley, the basis for Limp Bizkit. Like a lot of the bands and the iconic figures from our life and our childhood and growing up are passing on.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Ace Frehley passed away due to a fall that he had a week or two earlier, correct?
I believe so. I think it was a fall. I mean, and it shows the importance of longevity. You have to
falling.
Well, bone density, balance, coordination, right? A lot of senior citizens fall because their hips are tight and they don't lift their feet to walk anymore. So if you go to Publix or Target, you can hear people shuffling, kind of like Scrooge or whatever, like in the movies, like just shuffling their feet. And so if you catch an unlevel floor surface or a crack in the road or a curb or a threshold of a doorway, if you fall and break a femur or hip, your mortality rate goes up like 30% in the next 18 months. So movement is literally the greatest medicine we have for longevity.
It's funny. Somebody was a good friend, a close friend that was at the wedding that I was at on Saturday in Georgia, asked about walking. I'm like, I'm playing pickleball. I'm exercising. He's like, no, dude, you need to walk. You need to go out. You need to walk. Now, Shane Grossman put up a thing on his Facebook page, and I need to get details. I know he won't come on to talk about it, but I'll get the details that he has an app that pays you to walk.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure it's not stupid, dumb money, but you're going to walk anyway. You need to walk anyway.
Yeah.
If you can get paid X to, walk a mile a day or, a mile a week or 2 miles, whatever. So I'll get the details from Shane Grossman. And I don't know if you saw this, but Ohio has now welcomed Bare Knuckle.
BKFC, welcome. And Shane Grossman is a referee now, I think, right?
He is a referee. He's trying to be able to ref a BKFC. He went through the classes and all that kind of stuff. So I know he's been in contact with the commission and all that. So hopefully he does get that gig. But I even reached out to David Feldman and asked, hey, have you announced this yet? And are you okay if I announce it? Because if not, I won't. You know me. I don't break stuff. I don't care. Yep. I don't need the recognition. And he's like, how'd you find out? So I told him, we were told through the commission. He goes, yeah, you can announce it. Nice. So Shane seems to think that it'll be in January when they have their first event. I don't know why he would think that.
What city? Did they announce the city yet?
No, not yet.
I mean, I think Cincinnati would be a great place to have BKFC.
Yeah.
I mean, there's such a fight fan, because of
Cleveland?
UFC. Because of,
Cleveland?
Cleveland. But, I mean, Cincinnati has such a rich history of UFC fighters. Rich Franklin, Jorge Gazelle.
Who's that?
He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master.
Yeah, well, first of all, George Gagel is from Brazil. He's not from Cincinnati.
Who else is from Cincinnati? Who else was, whatever UFC fighters are from there?
I don't know. Is Matt Brown from that area? Or is he from the Cleveland area? I don't know.
But Ohio's a lot of fighters come out of that area.
Well, you got Mark Coleman. You got Wes Sims.
Yeah.
Cleveland, you have obviously Steve.
Speaking of Wes Sims, how was the pizza place he sent you to?
It was
went
good.
Down and picked up? Yeah.
I went and picked up one. Again, it's so difficult because I went to 4 different places and 3 of the 4 were good. Yeah. But they were all so totally different. How do you rank this one over that one? How do I rank? I don't care how you do it. If I like this one for this reason and I like that for that, I don't know if I can tell you that I like the thin crust with pepperoni, better than I liked the thick crust with pepperoni or the thick crust with sausage. I think to do it fairly, you
gotta be
should
the
get the same thing with the same toppings.
Well, and that's why Portnoy does what he does with just plain cheese.
Right. Well, and that's what you need to do.
Because that's the standard of, okay, if it's just sauce, cheese, and dough, that's the basis. That's the foundation. So
that's the way to do it. But, you've provided enough pizza to me in my lifetime that, if it doesn't have meat on it, don't bother me.
Sure,
but again.
But I'm about to do a new pizza tour, though. I have a new opportunity ahead of me where I'll be traveling quite a bit, and I'll be in search of the world's healthiest pizza and letting these pizza makers and owners put together their healthiest concept that helps with different functions, different benefits at a cellular level. And I'll put together a list and rate them based on what I think is the healthiest pizza in the country. And but yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be but I should have some really good feedback for you. And I'll send you the places.
I'm not looking for the healthiest pizza.
Well, you're going to find it, and it'll be tasty, and you won't even know that it's healthy. And I'll be like, this one, Randy, has sourdough crust, and this one has sodium bicarbonate instead of sugar.
That doesn't change what I said. That doesn't change what I said. Yeah. You're going to tell pizzas that it has this, that it has that. When people asked me the 4 places that I went, which one did I like better? It's so hard because they were not the same pizzas. My wife happened to like one of the 4 the best because of the sausage tasted like Connecticut, where she is from, which just so happens to be where this pizza place is from. It's based in New Haven, Connecticut. So it was a pizza.
That has the fennel seeds in the sausage.
I don't know. I don't
know. It's not fentanyl seeds. That's what my staff used to do.
Yeah, they would make their own.
But did you see?
I went to one place and I got my meat lover. I had pepperoni, I had sausages. I went to another one that was just pepperoni. So it's hard to judge them. It's hard to compare them when you're not comparing the exact same pizza.
Did you see? Speaking of pizza, if you add anchovies to pizza because it's has the least amount of toxic metal contamination from being such a small fish. The anchovies have omega-3s and fish oil, and it's a great pizza topping because of its health benefits. But I just saw a thing come across my news feed that Joe Rogan got arsenic poisoning from over-consuming sardines. An overconsumption of sardines has led to poisoning of arsenic for Joe Rogan. Your thoughts?
Stop eating sardines. I mean, I don't know what thoughts you want. That's awful.
Well, that's why I quit eating tuna when I first met my wife. I would eat 10 cans of tuna a day. So I had a cell phone and I had an alarm set up. Every 2 hours, I would pop a can, eat a raw can of tuna. And I was eating so much tuna that my doctor was like, look, you're going to give yourself mercury poisoning. Like, you got to quit eating so much tuna out of aluminum cans. I was literally making myself sick.
Then you should have gone to that sub place that allegedly their tuna wasn't tuna. Then you could have eaten all the tuna you wanted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is that one endorsed by Tom Brady, who doesn't eat bread? the stupidest sponsorship of all time.
It 100% is. There is absolutely no doubt. It is the silliest, dumbest. So,
speaking of sponsorship, though, if people wanted to get involved with Knockout Radio for the Super Bowl in San Francisco this year, and they wanted to have product placement at the booth or giveaways or opportunities for guests to come on, like let's say Dr. Oz comes on again and sits down. Hey, Dr. Oz, thanks for doing the show. Here is a bottle of X, or here's a supplement, or here's a whatever. What's it going to cost? And how many spots do you have available? Because I need to sell. I need 3 spots, I think, for 3 of my sponsors.
Well, we can talk sponsorship and advertising, off the air. That's not something we need to do here, but it is available. And I did just pick up a product sponsor. And if you know me, and I don't even think you know this, I have not used a wallet since probably 1981.
Really?
I don't like wallets.
Okay.
I don't like how bulky they are.
Yeah.
They're uncomfortable.
It actually causes misalignment in your hip. Like when you're sitting on this big, bulky
Okay.
Sitting in
Can
the
I
car
finish?
off this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So I got this email list of products that people are interested, in reviews and such. I don't really remember reaching out, but I received this wallet, and here's the
Okay.
wallet right here, if you can see it. And it's,
Okay.
ooh, how about that?
Just throwing money away. Look at this guy.
I just found $5. I just found $5.
Nice.
So this wallet is from the Swear brand. So you can Google them, SWEAR brand. These wallets will come up. And they reached out to me. They asked, what do you think? And I said, I got to be honest with you. I hate wallets. I haven't used a wallet since 1980, whatever. And I haven't. I've done what a lot of us males do. I use a rubber band in my front pocket. This wallet is not only the coolest thing ever. I can put so many credit cards, so many pictures, and it's so thin that I am using a wallet for the first time in decades. So they have come on board as a product sponsor. We're going to have a case of them to give away to guests that come on the show on Radio Row. We're going to start giving them away to the fighters and such, who they happen to be huge UFC fans as well. So, yeah, it's definitely available. And all you got to do is DM me, and we can talk if it's sponsors that are listening. We can get some people on for interviews on Radio Row, I believe. So it's going to be a good time. San Francisco, I just think I booked a B&B.
Okay.
And fairly inexpensive in, putting a team together to go out there and cover it for the week, which will include the Pro Bowl. Monday is always where both teams come to the stadium. The cool thing is that how did you steal that?
What are you talking about?
You're not supposed to have one of those. Who did you steal it from?
I adopted this from my people.
You stole that from who? Which daughter? Which daughter didn't get a fantasy pack because you stole it?
The one that didn't know how to defend a left hook.
Only you. So yeah, Super Bowl is coming. It's the first week of February. We're going to broadcast all week long, and now with the new StreamYard and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, we'll sit there, and if somebody cool walks by, we'll get them on, and we'll be on the radio as well, and the YouTube as well, and social media as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
So the real question is, could you escape Alcatraz?
No.
Really?
If the currents are what the currents are supposed to.
Can you swim? I mean, you were in the Navy, so did you ever have to get in the water?
Well, first, one has nothing to do. When you're in the Navy, you're on a ship. I'm not swimming. But, real quick story. I know we only have a couple minutes. So 1 year, I was UA, okay, unauthorized absence. So the ship was getting ready to leave. I was in a car accident, and the passenger was sleeping in the passenger seat. I was sleeping in the back seat. I was laying down sleeping, and the driver was sleeping in the driver's seat.
Okay.
And he flipped the car on Interstate 95.
Oh, wow.
From Connecticut back to Boston, or to Newport, Rhode Island. I woke up. I crawled out. I'm looking at semis coming towards us because we were on the roof. We were shuttled because police can't go into like another jurisdiction. So they would shuttle us from line to line to line to line to line to line. We get back to Newport, Rhode Island, and my ship, the USS Barry, it's underway. It just left the dock, and I seriously considered diving in the water and trying to swim to the ship.
Wow.
Because last thing you want to be is UA. Now we didn't get in trouble because – do what?
Well, you can verify that you actually were in a wreck, right?
Right, but still, you're still unauthorized absence. You still had to go through the procedure and prove. And, I mean, they still could have done stuff. They don't – there's no valid reason to miss the ship. Yeah, you're in a car accident, but that's your fault.
Was it further than 6 feet deep when it was offshore, like the Coast Guard?
Yeah. No. It was. I don't know. I don't know distances. It was probably at least a football field, maybe two.
I heard there was a kid fell off of a Disney cruise or some kind of cruise line this week. Like I think the father or the mom told her to take a picture in this like gap between the whatever, and she fell overboard. And the dad jumped in. They rescued him. I don't know. I just heard about that. I'll look it up during the next break.
You do that. So I don't know what that
happened. I don't know how people fall off a cruise ship. I've been on so many cruise ships. I've never even thought that was even possible to fall off of a cruise ship. I mean, you have to really try.
No, for sure. Well, you have to be really not paying attention. Like if you go over to the balcony and you like are leaning over to take a picture, or say there's something on the floor below you and you stick the camera down, and so I could definitely see it, but I have this phobia where I can't get close enough to like the railing. This was at the mall too. Like I want to jump off the mall. I want to jump off the second floor to the first floor. I'll never do it, but I have that feeling like I want to do it. I want to experience it. I want to see what it'll feel like. It'll feel like death is what it's going to feel like. But
so when you travel around the country for the UFC fights, like you go to different cities, do you do the observation deck? So you go up in the tower, the CN Tower.
I don't do anything. I mean, I've done a couple of them, but we are at the top of the hour. Let's go hit the first hour break. We'll come back and talk gibberish as we wait for the Queen of Violence calling. She'll be on the show live from Rome as Chris Camozzi defends his title, or attempts to defend his title this weekend. So 1 hour down. We'll be back after the top of the hour. This is Knockout Radio.
We're still live. Oh, is it? I just saw it. It just came across like.
It's because they released the father's statement. That's why we sort of.
There's concern on construction sites.
A survey by the construction company Clayco says 64% of 1,000 U.S. construction workers they talked to said they experienced anxiety or depression over the last year. That's up from 54% in a similar study conducted last year. What's just as troubling is that more than a third say they've been discriminated against for seeking help.
There's been criticism, but the NFL is not considering dropping Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl performer. That word from Commissioner Roger Goodell. Wall Street, the Dow is down 220 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Taylor, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we're back. Hour number one down, 2 hours to go. I just got an email from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they've cut the Hall of Fame list down, as they will continue to do. They've now, I think, narrowed it down to 52. And former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, former Arizona Cardinal, who goes into the Ring of Honor, I believe it's the end of November, Simeon Rice has made the next cut.
Okay.
So let's see if he can continue that on. And obviously that'll be up to the media who will decide.
So the requirement to get in the Ring of Honor is you must be on the 02 Super Bowl team.
That was helpful.
Okay.
But there's some people.
52. There's 52 guys on the roster, right, for each season. Is that what they cut it down to?
Well, no, there's 52 that are active game day,
mm-hmm.
and then there's some that are inactive, and
so
not
put the whole 02 team in the Ring of Honor. Eventually, it will all be them, right?
No, but there should be some more. I mean, honestly, I think Dexter Jackson should go up as the MVP. You know, and originally we thought, the media that's covered the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as long as I have and others have, you know, they've had so few stars. It's like, who are you going to put up there? So that was the first team that really had stars. How about Dwight Smith? I'm not saying that he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not even going to say that Ring of Honor, but he's done something no other player in the history of the NFL has ever done.
He came to the players' press box to do the knockout radio.
No, many players have done that. Dwight is the only player in NFL history to have 2 interceptions in a Super Bowl. Not just that, but returned them both for touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
So that's never been one. That's the big argument for the 02 Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. Dexter Jackson, 2 interceptions. Dwight Smith, 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. The difference, Dexter's was early in the game. Dwight's was later in the game.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, plus voting is so early. You know, you vote. I mean, you've been to the Outback Bowl and the Reliant Quest Bowl, and, you know, you have the sheet as soon as you sit down.
Yeah,
I've seen people write the kicker on it and then turn it in, like in the first quarter.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think Simeon's has always been, you know, on that list and considered for the list and, you know, that bubble list. I'm standing strong on my opinion of Hall of Fame ballots and votes. I think you should only have X amount of years. Simeon's stats have not changed since he retired. So just because every year there's better players or less players, that's how players get in. No, you should have X amount of years. And that was your time frame. And that was your, you know, if you have them, you have them. And if you don't, and the sad thing is, you know, it's media people who are doing these votings. So there was a Tampa Bay media person who cost, I don't remember who the pitcher was. I mean, obviously, the Cy Young, he's won numerous Cy Youngs. He didn't win it because 2 voters didn't even put him in the top 5. That's like putting, and I did want to talk about this hour number 1. We'll talk about it now. That's like somebody not voting for Ohtani for an MVP in the top 5. You know, if you want to argue, you know, whoever, now that he's in, you know, the National League, he's not going to go up against Aaron Judd, whatever. But to not list him in the top 5, arguably the greatest baseball player of all time, there is no argument at all. What he just did is the greatest game in the history of Major League Baseball. Are you aware what he did?
No.
He pitched the Dodger playoff game. I think it was game 4 because they swept. Hit 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts.
Wow.
On and on and on. Yeah, that was the greatest accomplishment, the greatest game, in my opinion. You know, I know Shane Grossman's freaking out. Of course it's your opinion, moron. You're the one that said it. But that's like somebody not voting for him, you know, for an MVP in the top 5.
Did Cy Young ever win the Cy Young Award?
Yeah, every time he wrote a check.
I mean, that's like Bobby Bonilla Day, right?
No, it's not because he didn't make that kind of money.
Okay. But I just wondered if Cy Young
And
ever won.
Ohtani took Bonilla Day to a whole new level because he did the
Yes.
same thing. Only he won't
Oh.
be getting 1 point whatever a year for the next amount of years. He'll be getting many zeros.
Ohtani's special, though, huh? It's crazy.
Do they sweep? Do they sweep Toronto?
I think
Or
so.
does Toronto win a game or two?
Maybe a game, draw it out, get some more revenue for the league.
See the
I mean,
benches. Did you see the benches cleared in Game 7 there the other night?
No.
Yep.
Detroit?
Well, Detroit wasn't playing. It was Seattle and Toronto.
Damn it. No, I didn't see it.
Yep. And
Anybody throw any fists?
They never throw punches in a baseball bench clearer.
Yeah.
They like to act tough. But what the commentators kept saying is that Toronto tried to act rough and tough to the big dumper.
Oh, yeah.
Now the whole team's going to support him. Now
Cal Raleigh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I've started bench clearing brawls in softball, and the whole team didn't come out to be involved. They're like, "Nah, Randy started it. He's on his own." You know, with Cal, everybody came out.
I have a question. Don Mattingly will be appearing in his first World Series if Toronto Blue Jays do win a world title, a North American title.
I was going to say, now you're calling it a world title. Interesting.
And Donnie Baseball gets the hardware as a Major League Baseball champion.
I think he's a batting coach.
Does he go into the Hall of Fame?
No.
What? Donnie Baseball? You're not going to put Donnie Baseball in your Hall of Fame? You media guy? You're not going to vote for Donnie Baseball?
I'm saying no because he's not in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah, but won't he go in the Hall of Fame
No.
when he's – why?
No. Why?
He was the best player ever to not win anything.
No, I bet you he's not.
him and Dan Marino.
Dan Marino's the best player to not win anything. I bet you there's plenty of players that have incredible stats and have never won anything.
For sure.
So no, Donnie Baseball had a great
get in
run.
the Hall of Fame.
Well, he would already be in.
A lifetime of baseball, a lifetime of travel, a lifetime of sacrifice, lifetime of love for the game, like from player to coach to rebellion, not cutting his hair and getting fined by the Yankees. I mean, making a stand for expressionism, freedom, personalized. You can't put him in the Hall of Fame for freedom.
No.
Put him in the freedom wing.
No. If you want to start a hokey pokey Freedom Hall of Fame, feel free to do it.
He probably doesn't even know that I was in his basement once.
Yeah. I'm sure. Well, that's just like Quentin Rampage Jackson doesn't know that I was in his house once, even though I sat there and talked to him.
Bro, he had these huge Knights of Armor that's on the basement. They were 9-foot tall statues. It was and so we came in through the sliding glass door around the back, and that was the first thing you see in the dark. I thought it was a security guard. It's my heart skipped. I was like, oh shit.
So as a Mattingly fan, it doesn't matter where he wins a ring, just so long as he wins one.
I mean, it'd be good for Evansville. It'd be good for Indiana. It'd be good for baseball. It'd be good for New York.
Why would it change anything? Now, do you put up a sign that says "Home of World Series Champ Don Mattingly"? It's not there already.
Yeah. Welcome to Evansville, home of the world champion Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball.
So there's no sign now. They're now saying that Don Mattingly is from that town.
It just says you're getting close. Keep coming, the town where he almost made it. Yeah, it's a getting close sign. That's not an actual.
Do you want to give a prediction on any of the fights from this weekend? You want to get off Donnie Baseball?
Yeah, let's get off Donnie Baseball.
All right, pull up the card.
Is Kluckemeyer still part of the Toronto Blue Jays though?
I have no idea where your favorite player went. What'd you ever do with that baseball you got signed?
I have it right here. Look, I got it right there.
Prized possession?
I put it in plastic. It's Kevin Kiermaier, number 39. Almost close enough to a world championship. He if he's not with the Blue Jays anymore, he's over. This plaque actually belonged to DJ Griffin, number 23, Donnie Baseball's number, by the way. First home run over the fence, Lynx versus Prospects, 2/19 of 2012. So shout out DJ Griffin. I bought somebody's storage unit at auction, and this was in it. So DJ Griffin, everybody knows DJ Griffin from the Lynx versus Prospects. I have your plaque. I'll give you this Donnie Baseball likeness. Yeah, let's give it away. Let's give this baseball away. Signed by Kevin Kiermaier in person, you and I at what was that, Spectrum Field?
You know where Kiermaier's from? You know where he was
No.
born?
No. Germany.
Take Germany? Just a little bit well, east or west, either one. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
No, he's one of us.
He's one of you.
Oh.
Now it all makes sense.
It does make
now
a
it
lot
all
of
makes
sense.
And then I also was pretty sure that we talked about this before. Kiermaier played for the Dodgers last year.
Oh, okay.
And hasn't played since.
So he's a champion. You got a ring?
No, I'm sure they got rid of, even though he might have gotten a ring. They might have gave him one. Why don't you reach out? But ironically, the two teams he played for in the same year, in 2024, started with the Jays and ended with the Dodgers.
Wow.
I wonder who he's rooting for.
Yeah, I mean, whoever treated him the best, or I don't know.
Well, they both got rid of him, so.
I mean, do you hate your old boss? I mean, that's disgruntled employees. Actually, you were in Atlanta this week. There was a disgruntled guy up there. Came in with an AK-47 and was like casing the place to maybe do a mass shooting.
Well, and I guess there was a bomb threat on the interstate as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's going on in Atlanta? I didn't realize that was the #1 airport in the world, the busiest. I thought Hong Kong was the busiest.
It's the busiest. And then I told you the story where I almost went postal when they told us, not just me, but they told a bunch of us that our plane got moved to a different gate. So we went from gate like A to gate E. Okay. I get all the way to gate E, and guess what they tell me? No, they're wrong. Go back to gate A.
Yeah, can you say going postal anymore? Is that derogatory to men and women that work for the U.S. Postal Service? Because
I don't know if it's derogatory to the post office, but I said it at the VA, and armed guards came with guns.
I mean, you can't say crazy things like bomb on a plane or.
Well, I understand that.
I
understand that.
Going postal is not a good look for you. I mean, look, but
what I said was, hold on. What I said was, when this moron VA worker said that my father did not serve in the military, that he was a reservist. And I said, well, you don't get a DD-214 if you don't serve active duty. Because it was after he passed away and, trying to get all the burial stuff done. And then, for this pompous donkey to sit there and say, no, he's not eligible. I go, now I see why people go postal. And then they went postal on me.
But back in the day, that was like the people who did public shootings or like going back to their workplace disgruntled and shooting people in public. They were usually like post office employees, right? Like because of the stress or I've never met anybody really happy at their job at the post office, but I mean, isn't that where it came from? Isn't that where that saying came from? Like going postal was because of the workplace violence? I'm just saying, like,
I don't know.
That has to be. Like, I mean, why else would that be like a slang in our society?
Have you ever been in a post office?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about going postal there? Exactly. That's why it's called going postal.
I haven't. Well, but everybody that works there is extremely in a bad mood. And
Not
because
everybody, but most.
And they have a little bit of power. And so like they like to flex that power of like, you licked the stamp with the wrong side of your tongue. Like, start over. Like it's like they use any little discrepancy to make you suffer because that's the only little bit of power they have in their life to like hold over people. And they like to flex it. It's like the DMV. The same people. They just go from one job to the other. But
I've had run-ins in the post office, especially the one in Roswell, Georgia.
Yeah.
My picture's up.
Yeah. No, but I just But yeah, when you give people a little bit of power and they abuse it, it's makes for a
But that's
disturbing
everything.
workplace.
That's everything. Whether you're talking sports, whether you go into a new gym, the guy ranked above you, tries to throw their muscle around. When you go in the military, somebody, a 20-year-old with 3 stripes, tries to prove a point to the 19-year-old with 2 stripes. It is what it is. And you just have to go in with the right, mind frame to just basically laugh inside. Yeah, whatever. You want me to do this? Okay, fine. And then they get mad because you don't get mad, and then they pick on somebody else.
So did you drive to Atlanta this time, or did you fly?
We drove.
How was the interstate? Like, you notice a lot more road rage on the roads lately?
Didn't notice that, but what we did notice, my wife noticed it, was anyone in Georgia, if a funeral procession drives by, in Georgia, they stop.
Oh, you still have respect up there.
You know what else they do? And if you do this, I'm not saying you, Matt, because if you do this, Matt, I will punch you. But I'm not going to punch everybody that does it. If there's something going on the opposite side of the interstate, whether it's a car wreck, whether it's somebody getting a ticket, who gives a flying drive? But no, everybody slows down to look at the cop writing a ticket or to look at the car that's upside down. If you keep doing that, your car is going to be upside down.
Yeah, the old rubbernecking.
Just drive.
Yeah. Now, I've noticed a lot of people, especially electric car drivers, because they're not a combustible engine, they're much faster to respond off the line. So like when they're merging 2 lanes, they like to beat you to that point of where the 2 lines end or the 2 lanes come into one. And I see so much like friction on the highway on ramps where electric cars whip around real quick because they have a faster acceleration. And then, you see like good old country Florida boys with their jacked up squatted trucks. Have you seen a squatted truck, Randy? You know what squatted trucks are?
No.
Where the back end, they dump it and the front end pops up like this. And so they're driving, like literally like hanging on, but they call it squatting, and they dump the back truck low and then the front suspension's way up. But man, I see so much road rage on I-75. It's every single day almost.
Before we let Bust a Lip come in, finally got here from Walmart, I almost got crunched by a semi because people don't like the word merge. They think merge, somebody's trying to jump in front of you. That's a merge, moron. 2 lanes merge into one.
Yeah.
Speaking of
traffic experts, Bust a Lip knows about traffic.
Well, we're going to save Bust a Lip. We got to hit the break. It is 20 minutes after, so let's stay on schedule. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone, coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility in Pinellas Park.
What's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. At West Florida Roofing, they know how much of a financial burden a new roof can be. So not only do they offer extremely competitive prices, but they are offering up to 130 feet of gutters and downspouts absolutely free with a full roof replacement. Plus, financing is also available. I recently hired West Florida Roofing to replace my entire roof, and I couldn't be happier. From contract to cleanup, they did an amazing job. Call Joe today at 8.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
It's Joe Romero here and the Knockout Radio.
All right, we're back. Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio. I'm here. You're there. Matt's there. We'll open up the back room in a second. Normally, I give you a lot of crap, Matt. Just like today, the start of the show. You wait to the last minute to find out if your microphone is working. You wait to the last second to make sure that you know how to plug it in. Our next, just because she's in Texas, now she's a cowgirl?
Listen.
What up, Hamhead?
I'm in such a small town here in Texas that I had to rustle me up some chargers at the local Wally World, okay? And when I went down there, let me tell you something. I think I paid $90 for a charger that would probably be about $35 down in my sweet old city of Tampa. But I got it working here. Sorry, it went out on me completely here. So
more importantly, what did you pay for that thing that's on your head?
Listen, something about cowboy hats that I've learned now dating a Texan. Okay.
Oh.
And this is hers. It's a serious thing. Like the cowboy hats that I like are kind of straw. They're very LA, California, SoCal hats, where you can crumble them up. And then if you wear something like that out here, it's something like, I think they'll arrest you. I mean, so you get your cowboy hat. I didn't know this. When I go to places to buy cowboy hats, they're made. I pick I like.
Hold on a second. Hold on. How many cowboy hats do you own?
I own. Well, technically, now that I've been here,
one.
I own
one. What she's wearing.
I own 0. I thought I owned 3, but I don't because they're not real cowboy hats. They're like California West Coast straw imitations. If you buy a cowboy hat here, it comes completely flat and with no dents. And then it's like a 3-part process, dudes. It's like buying a car.
Yeah.
It's like you have to individualize your hat. You buy the hat and then you pick the shapes, you pick the turns, and there's all this stuff that goes into it. So this one right here was probably, I think she was about $600, this cowboy hat. I kid you not.
Wouldn't it be a cowgirl hat?
No, it's like an actor. It's like an actor. Like Nicole Kidman says she's an actor. It's a cowboy hat.
Those are actresses. Like if it's yours and you're female,
they only do that for the Oscars. They only do that for the Oscars. That's great. Actually, that's a great question, Matt, because if you'll talk to any famous actress or whatever, they don't say they call themselves an actor. They always do. They just do.
All right, let's get back to the elephant in the room. You can either pay rent for 3 months or you can buy that kicking hat that you're wearing.
I'm borrowing this baby, man. I apparently have got, look at this stuff behind me here. I am living in Texas in this house right now. It
looks like you're.
Listen, above the bed, there's big steer horns. I'm not kidding. Those gigantic, longhorns? Yeah. I'm not kidding.
It looks like you look like if you're at Woody's house from Toy Story. It's like in his sex dungeon with longhorns. I don't know.
God. I didn't go there.
Grab the bull by the horns, right? Like
I'm not going there. But these feel a lot better. I feel very authentic. The only problem with this relationship, and I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. God, she loves the Dallas Cowboys, and my whole life that's been a deal breaker. So this must be real love here because I'm willing to deal with
They have cowgirls.
Dallas.
The Cowboys. They got cowgirls.
Yes, exactly. The Cowgirls are the players.
Are you two done?
Who likes the Dallas Cowboys?
Hold on.
So
what's the hat made out of? Is it made out of like
rawhide?
Is it like
it's
actual
made out of 100% pure Texas gold, my friends. It is.
Now,
pure
hold on.
Texas
If you're listening to this program on the radio, jump on the YouTube channel, Knockout Radio on YouTube. Not only subscribe, but I can't say the words that these hats are called. Isn't it like a crap kicking hat?
No, this is a real authentic cowboy hat.
But what's it made out of? Like leather? Like leather?
Texas
Is it like cowhide?
It's made out of different things. I'll tell you, my friends. Hold on here.
For $600, it's made out of gold.
So it is
$50 is made in China.
Yes, it is genuine. It is genuine leather. It says
made in China.
No, American company, Bowie, Texas. Bowie, Texas is a 6 7/8. All of that's the head size, genuine leather. A little bow in the center there that you can see.
Are you going to bring that? Hold on. Are you going to bring that and wear it on Radio Row in San Francisco?
Maybe. It's not. It depends on not if the Cowboys are going to be there, but I doubt that'll happen. Prescott is getting really lucky right now. He's not that good. He's overrated. Made in the USA, established in good old 1916, American Hat Company.
Now put your headset on over it.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Did you bring one for the rest of the class? If you're going to bring a show and tell, then bring a hat for Randy and I when you come back.
Yeah, maybe. Randy I wanted one of those really cool hats that one of your sponsors, what are those called, Randy? The ones that are foam on the top?
The noggins.
The big noggins.
Yeah. Noggins are cool,
man.
But
they're too expensive. Your hat costs, what, $600? Like ours costs us a producer. Yeah, like our. Can we get a 10 bell salute for that one?
Oh my goodness. Like she's like, when I met her, and here's another funny thing about Texans. Like I said, when I was first getting to know her, I said, are you a cowgirl? And she was like, no, I'm not a cowgirl. But a cowgirl is a different thing in Texas when you are in the cowboy industry and the roping and all that, because it's like, you've seen Yellowstone, Teeter. Remember Teeter on Yellowstone? Like, she's a cowgirl. Like,
never saw.
They don't consider. See, to us,
that's about it. Daisy Duke was the best cowgirl we ever met.
Well, see, to us, no, she wasn't a cowgirl. She's a California hottie who was wearing she's a Southern girl. She was a California. It's different. It's a whole different thing. A cowgirl to us is someone who's cute, like Daisy Duke, putting a cowboy hat on with a Southern accent. That is not a cowgirl here in Texas. A cowgirl here ropes and is pretty tough and not what you think.
Back to the sex room.
No,
the ropes and bondage.
Same thing with cowboys. Like they're really cowboys. Like,
is that where Brokeback Mountain is? Is that where that is?
Yeah, that was a cowboy and a cowgirl.
All right. So what else is going on there,
Leslie?
Let's talk some sports. Let's talk some something.
Hold on. When the meteorologists talk about like Texas dust storms, I was in Lubbock, Texas, and like there was like dust storms that came through like almost like a tropical storm, and you couldn't see. Like it was like everything was crazy. So is that a big thing where you are? Is that where
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the roads around this area, people will say, they get washed out and stuff with floods that come in. There's all kinds of weather here. It's one of the things I really like about Texas. Like I woke up and it was in the 50s and then it got into the 90s yesterday. I mean, it's from 50s to 90s in one day. Okay. And the same thing today. Woke up in the 50s, was going to get to the upper 80s. But there are signs that say, please watch the dust. And that means basically if you're driving through an area, don't go fast. It's like, especially if it's a gravel road, or a road that is just in really bad condition, which there are many of out here. I'm outside of Fort Worth, folks, if you're wondering where this is, but it's a little town called Decatur.
They're not.
And but I love little towns because I was raised in Hendersonville.
All right. Well, speaking of little town, I saw a video, which I put on my YouTube channel, by the way. The title is "Another Day in Texas."
Oh yeah.
Talk about the experience of the horse-drawn carriages that went by you the other day.
Oh my gosh, Matt, did you see this? Do you know what Randy's talking about?
No, Matt doesn't go to our YouTube channel, so he.
I came out. I kid
Well,
you not.
what's the address? I'll go look it up.
I came out. It's on my Facebook page. I'm gonna text.
It's on the YouTube channel, Knockout Radio.
Leslie, I love you, but I don't follow you. I got Fox 13. If I want to watch the news, I'm going to watch Paul Delgado talk about
and Matt
McClellan.
I love Paul Delgado.
Yeah, and Dennis Phillips. I'm not listening to Leslie Lacey. She's not even here. I don't know if I can trust your advice on traffic. I don't know.
Listen, you can always trust my advice on traffic. And by the way,
Right.
the little merging comment you were talking about there earlier, people don't like you to merge in Florida. You know what? Florida is famous for something in traffic. When you put on your blinker, which is also called an indicator light, it indicates to the person behind you to speed the hell up.
Yep.
You cannot get over.
Well, you know, and here's the thing that bothers me about that. And then I want you to get back to talking about the horse-drawn carriage. Just because you put an indicator light on doesn't mean that people have to slow up to let you in.
Right.
No, but you're letting them know if you're way behind them, don't speed up.
I understand that, but like when you go to the Bucks game and there's that long ass line to get into the turn lane onto Del Mabry, people think that they can drive by that whole line, get up to the light, put the indicator light on, and that people are going to stop and let you in. I purposely drive quicker if I'm in line. I'm not going to I've sat here for 20 minutes. It's not a merge. If you're doing a merge, that's different. But you're in the straight line. You're trying to, jump in front of everybody that's been in line and think just because you put that damn indicator light on that people have to stop what they're doing, like Moses parting the Red Sea. No, dude, hit me. I need a new car.
So I actually identify as Korean descent or Asian descent, and I don't use a blinker at all. I just drive. Like I don't tell anybody none of my plans, because that's the number one rule of ruining your dreams, is telling people your idea, and then they crush your soul.
But here's where that's a bad idea. Just so you know, do you watch any of the police shows?
Mm-hmm.
PD is back and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever noticed that they always pull over cars who didn't use their indicator?
Yeah.
I noticed you changed lanes. You didn't use your indicator. What's the drugs doing underneath the seat?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't give them a reason, they can't pull you.
So every time when they pull me over, they always ask me, like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, yeah, you want to work out. I was like, get up there, let's go. And they're like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, that's why you pulled me over, right? To get a stretch in, your back is locked up, you're wearing all compressive gear, you would need to decompress, you're worried about, neurofunction and cortisol control.
Only Matt pulled over and then has to do a sales pitch on his mobile gym to the police. Okay.
I pull police over. If I see a cop pulled over on the side of the road or an exit or a rest area or a parking lot, I will pull up on them and then introduce them to vertical conditioning. I every time. At the meeting at the movie theater, they have like a morning powwow where it's like all the agencies come together and like plan their day or whatever. There'll be like 20 cop cars in like a circle, and they're out talking and doing donuts and coffee and scripting their day. And
when you first said that, honestly, I thought that you meant they were in their cars doing donuts, doing in the parking lot.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not recording that, but I pull up in the middle. I'm like, hey guys, everybody needs to stretch out before they start their shift. And they do. I get them on the truck. I literally get full uniform, full gear, help them stretch and decompress, and they go about their day.
All right, do me a favor. Stop talking about yourself, because I asked Busta
about the police
10 minutes ago to discuss the horse-drawn carriages. That's now video is now on the YouTube channel at Knockout Radio.
If Doug Martin had a GNAT, maybe he'd still be alive. Just saying.
I don't care about the GNAT. I care about the horse-drawn carriage.
Oh,
Gotta bring value to the
R.I.P. to Muscle Hamster. Okay, R.I.P. to Muscle Hamster. He was a great buck.
Tell me about the horse-drawn carriages.
Okay, So
Jesus, it's like pulling
I'm
teeth here.
leaving my girlfriend's neighborhood. Okay, I'm just trying to get out of the neighborhood.
Permanently, or are you going to be coming back?
No, to go to Walmart because that's the only thing in town. Okay, so I'm leaving the neighborhood. I tell you, it's a small town. I'll give you some videos. Apparently, there's some famous things here. I think it has. There's the oldest junior college. It looks like the Alamo, and a couple other things. Maybe I'll send some pictures in. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Video. We want video.
So I will give you video. I'll say, look, this is the old. Okay.
Here you go, Hoss.
People used to come to this town, I think, and gamble and do things before they used to go to. It was a big gambling town before they go into Fort Worth for the cattle runs or herds. Anyways, I'm leaving the subdivision. Okay. And I looked down the road and I swear to God, I thought I was seeing something. I don't know what. I was like, what? Like, what am I seeing? And it gets closer, and I kid you not, it is a freaking wagon trail. A wagon trail.
Of
okay.
About 15, 18
wagons.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, is this like what is this? Like, is this a fair or something? But it's on the road, right? It wasn't, my friends. I just had to pull over, and I'm gobsmacked. I'm filming it, and they're waving, and they're just, with their.
Yeah, the guy on the horse yelled at you. Or said hi to you.
Yeah.
Howdy, ma'am.
No, listen to what happened after that, but I didn't have record on. One of them goes, "Can you make me a beer run?" I was like, "Can you drink and ride?" I don't know. Like, he's driving. Is that legal to like drink on
I don't think
chuck
so.
wagon?
No, you can't drive a lawnmower and a golf cart. I mean, anything operating a horse is illegal.
Yeah,
You
but
can't.
that's an animal. I mean, it's the animal that's really going. You're not really control. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that you could control an animal incorrectly.
You can get arrested for riding a mechanical horse in front of a Kmart. If you're drunk in public, you're going to get arrested for something.
This is a real horse. These are real wagons, and there was like 15 or something in there, and there was all these, like Farmer Ted's on them, driving by, waving, and one of them had a bunch of cooking stuff, like a chuck wagon.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I do need to let you know that the video of the chuck wagons, just over 900 views, but my son getting a face job got 1.3. He went and he got his beard trimmed for the wedding, and they did this massage of his face and stuff. I filmed it, and 1,300 people have watched it. So
he got a face massage.
Yeah,
because it's a boy. It's unique. Women get those all the time.
So how do the stagecoach horses merge on the
all right,
highway?
we're going to talk about that. We've got a new schedule. We got to stay on the new schedule. We've shorter breaks, less breaks. So let's stay on schedule, and then we'll find out more about the chuck wagon and what the little lady and the lassie did when they all giddy up to buy them. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone, coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. Give them a holler, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, 727-954-3605.
Hey, this is Uriah Faber, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hey guys, I'm Chase Elliott, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we're back. Almost ending of hour number 2. Queen of Violence, Christine Ferrara, will be coming on at the bottom of next hour. And you know, we kind of discussed this earlier about cowboy, cowgirl. And I'm going to tell her, I'm a little disappointed. I don't like the Queen of Violence tag because she is the king of violence. She is whatever. Why do we have to break her down into a female fighter when she's probably one of the baddest fighters, period, on the planet?
I just think it's sharing the love, man.
The hell with the love.
I mean, because you got the king and the queen, you know. Sometimes
Love's
queens are
overrated.
hard. Queen
Love's
Elizabeth.
overrated.
Tell your wife that.
Well, the queen in most,
Hold on one sec,
cases
Matt.
is-
Hold on one sec. My wife's been retired for 6 weeks. She now knows love is overrated.
But look, I mean, the queen is the most, in different species, like the elephants, the African elephants, the hyenas, the bees,
the honeybees.
The ants.
Queens
The
are the
ants.
leaders. The queen on the chessboard. Speaking of chess, the 29-year-old chess phenomenon was found dead this week.
Oh.
29 years old. The American, I forget his name. I'll look it up here. But yeah, 29 years old.
So what happened? Did the rook get him, or was it the queen?
The king did. The king did.
I think he got himself. I think he resigned.
Did he lay
that's
flat?
sad.
I mean, I think that's what happened. I think he took the criticism. He couldn't take the online criticism, people talking trash, and
No, that's sad. You gotta not read it. Remember Searching for Bobby Fischer, that movie about the chess king Bobby Fischer? Do you guys ever see that film, Searching for Bobby Fischer?
No.
He was like a chess phenom. Or The Queen's Gambit. That's the most recent.
That's a great series.
Let me say something about that series. The woman who that's based on, that's a true story, The Queen's Gambit. Okay. The woman who's that based on sued Netflix. You know why? Because at the end of the Netflix movie, it said she never played men. She did play men and she beat them. And so she sued and won against Netflix.
Wow.
Little known fact there about The Queen's Gambit. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Just throw that out there.
So in your relationship, are you the king or the queen, Leslie?
Listen, this is not a
It's a serious question.
monarchy.
It's
Okay.
a serious question. No, in a relationship, which
It's
one
not
are
a
you? Are you the
monarch.
queen or are you the
It's
king?
it's shared custody.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh, so what are you
Guys
talking
always
about?
want to put you in this or that or everything with when you're a
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
nobody puts lesbian in the corner.
Lesbian.
Okay? Nobody puts lesbian in the corner.
So 100% equal. So you guys are going through this thing.
Yeah, you're yes. This is
Really?
a partnership, buddy. It's a partnership.
Well, because a lot of relationships, you see one more dominant than the other. Like if it's the same.
Like this
gender.
radio show. Like
Yeah,
this.
like Randy's wife is way more dominant than Randy.
Yeah. Well, she has more
I don't know what that means,
testosterone.
but whatever.
Is your wife more dominant than you,
I wouldn't say that. No.
Matt?
For sure. Oh, my wife's way more dominant than me.
Yeah, we know that.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
Brazilian, so it goes without
she's-
saying.
Oh, is she? Listen, Matt, check your phone. I just sent you the what I was talking about on text.
What,
The
the
video.
chuck wagons?
The chuck wagons. I
More
sent it.
importantly, watch it on YouTube. You go to
Oh,
Knockout
yeah.
Radio on YouTube, click the button and view it there.
It was crazy. In fact, I I called Morgan and I was like, is this normal? Like there's a traffic. I had to pull over to allow the wagon trail. And she said she's lived here for, 15 years. She says, I've never seen that.
So how would you like on the morning news report for traffic, like you'll be like, expect delays today on route whatever because of a coach.
Now see, exactly. Hold on. What you should have done, you should have had that speed gun that you used to do on Channel 8. And
Yeah,
you
I
should
still
have
have
gotten
it.
that, and you should have done it and said, yup, you're speeding. You're going 2 miles an hour here on
That's
this road.
hilarious. I
Well,
wish
you-
I had it with me. I don't have it. My speed radar gun, my speed buster.
Do you remember the TV show about the Amish? It was like a series. They did like an Amish family, and they like try to make it seem like they were tough, like gangsters, like they were like Mennonites and like, "Rah." And everybody's like, "Are you scared of like the Amish?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm terrified of the Amish. Not because of the gangs, not because of shiny objects, not because of technology." But if I got behind a single lane road, behind a buggy with an orange triangle, damn it, I'm going to be late to whatever I'm going to. And that put fear into my heart.
Let me tell you something. It's a big problem with tractors because I was driving on a road, and first of all, the roads guys here are treacherous. Okay, it's the Wild West on the roads, and it's because a lot of them they're not kept up so much because it's county, it's not city, and course. So some of these areas, if you don't pay for your road to get paved, it's not going to get paved. Like everybody who lives on your road, if you don't all chip in and get it paid, it's going to be messed up, like filled with potholes and ridiculous. So there are a few things like that. But tractors will come down these roads, big tractors, and literally, Matt, they're going like 5-10 miles an hour. Okay. And you can't pass them. Their wheel goes a little bit into the left lane, or, you can't pass them because it's a double yellow line and it's so hilly. You could try to pass them and you could have a semi truck coming 70 miles per hour that smashes into you. So you got to sit behind it until there's an opportunity where you can try to go off the road on the right or pass, or hope that the farmer Ted pulls over. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you. Look, I'm getting a little Southern here just talking about it. I can tell my voice is changing.
Talking about it.
I'm telling my voice is changing when I'm looking at myself wearing this hat. And these roads, the name of this road is called Farm to Ranch or Farm to something. It's literally farm to table. I don't know.
Talk more about the Cowboys.
Oh, God. Well, I'll tell you what. I've hated the Dallas Cowboys the majority of my life, but my grandfather was from Texas, so I can try to like them for that reason. And now that I may be living here soon, I gotta get on the bandwagon.
You're moving there? You're gonna move there?
Maybe we'll see. See how it goes.
How small is
that
that town
job
again?
stuff? I'm looking around for a couple different job things. Some in Tampa, some here. So it depends on what I go with. But I travel.
If your town is so small that you have to go outside to eat an extra large pizza, then you should get the hell out of there.
Listen, that's hilarious. I love small towns. I was raised in Hendersonville, Tennessee. It's a burb of Nashville, but I'm only 20 minutes from Fort Worth, Dallas. Okay. So it's a little town outside. So I love little towns like this. By the way, Taylor Swift went to my high school. That's our claim to fame. Have I not mentioned that 5 million times? I thought I'd mention it again.
Not 5 million times today.
Life of a Showgirl, Hendersonville High. Guys, she even references my small town in her new album. She talks about Gallatin Road and the Lakeside Beach in Hendersonville. And I love it. I love it. Took me right back home when she was talking about that. Anyways.
Wake me up.
Your hometown is like extremely difficult to live in. I lived in Nashville for 2 weeks.
What's wrong with Hendersonville? Oh, you don't like Nashville?
No. You know what? We were over on like White Bridge Road. Like we were in between like Belle Meade and Bellevue.
Yeah.
So Belle Meade, I think it was Belle Meade. It was like Al Gore and like generational money where you couldn't lose it in a bad weekend in Vegas. Like even if you tried. Right?
Belle Meade, Green Hills.
You cross like White Bridge Road and like you couldn't stop at the stoplights because you get carjacked. And and it was like there's nowhere to live. It's like, well, I can't live over there because I don't have that kind of money, and I can't live over here because it's not safe. And
That's
then
why you move to you move out. You move outside of the city, but the traffic.
we
is
did.
really
We moved to Tampa. We did. We went south of the city.
Yeah,
And
Nashville's changed a lot. It's not the same. But you're right about going into one area and then walking around into the other area.
it was one side of the street versus the other. It's like Detroit. It was like one side's mansions, the next street is like drive-by shootings, like, and the next block is flip-flop. It's wild.
Yeah, it's like if Eminem wore fringe, and glitz, little glitz. It's Nash Vegas, baby. 8 Mile there, right across the state streets. Anyways.
Well, I like your hat. I like your hat. I mean, I'm getting ready to change my attire. I just got a job. Well, maybe I got a job. I'm in the final step of a new job, but I'm gonna have to start dressing like a Cubano, like a, like. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at culture?
Cubano.
Don't laugh.
You mean a Cubano?
Cubano. Okay, like I'm like the soldier of God. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be in the cigar industry, and so like I have to wear like clothing that's reflective of the history of Ybor City.
Cool.
Culture. So I've been learning through the biohacking that linen, 100% pure linen, it emits a frequency of 5,000 megahertz. So it's actually a healing cloth. It's a healing material, where polyester and nylon and synthetics, it actually has a 0 to 15 megahertz. So that's why, like, so microplastics that we absorb through our skin, through our clothing. So by adopting this culture of like dressing like, the cigar industry, natural linens and 100% cotton, formal dress wear, but I'll be wearing hats that are made out of hemp and, fedoras and things to fit the style, because I'm in the cigar industry now, and they took my non-smoking concept and they're going to give me a North American territory to launch a cigar designed for fitness to improve oxygen at the internal level, to use it as a nasal breathing device to get nootropic.
Hold on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Hold on, partner.
Hey, saddle up, partner.
Let me rustle up some information here from you, okay?
Yeah,
You're telling
non-smoking.
me that you've got a job with a cigar company that has trying to capitalize on your non-smokingness in order to sell cigars?
That's right. Because a lot of people who are aficionados in cigars, they're older, they've made their money, they have wealth, but they've destroyed their health sitting at bar stools, drinking sugary drinks like bourbons,
or maybe
old fashions,
cigars,
from smoking cigars, and from sitting stationary like the Norm Peterson, sitting at a bar stool, eating ultra processed foods, drinking excessive amounts of sugar, smoking vaporized, smoke and tobacco.
I'm confused.
So because you can get the same effect, you can get the flavor of the tobacco through this, just put it in your mouth. You don't have to light it and smoke it. So you could still enjoy it. You still get the nootropic effect of the nicotine. It still gives you the anxiety and stress relief. There's still a status and a culture that people love about the cigar industry. So whether it's a golf course or lounges or just on a yacht or on a boat or celebratory. So people love it, but they're waking up to the fact like they don't want to self-destruct and sabotage their health and longevity.
So you're actually going to market cigars for non-smokers, and you just chew on it. Let me get this right. You're just chewing on cigars and get some of the beneficial things from chewing on it, but you're not inhaling it in your lungs or lighting it. Correct?
Correct. And then by biting down on it, like with tension in your jawline, anyone that's on camera as a media or a content creator or as a platform like this, by biting down on the cigar, using it as a training device, whether you're running or jogging or walking like Randy's about to start doing, you can actually strengthen your muscles in your neck and your jawline to sharpen it so you look better on camera. So
that's an awful lot of chewing that would take. I mean,
but I'm just saying, if you incorporate it into your lifestyle, you can still enjoy it and not have the damaging effects of breathing in the
so
actual smoke.
If you chew on a cigar, you don't smoke it, you can actually have a jawline like Tom Brady.
I mean, he doesn't eat, Subway sandwiches, but he does. But in all seriousness, though, it's a luxury cigar manufacturer, and they want to break into the North American market. And I applied for the job, and they told me I wasn't qualified, that I didn't know anything about tobacco, and I wasn't in the industry, and they dismissed me. And they sent me a nice letter to say F off. Luck
like
to you.
I do all the time, and this
And
conversation.
I wrote back and I said, I think you're missing the mark here. There's an entire industry of cigar enthusiasts that the unlit market is untapped, literally.
That's brilliant.
And then they put me in
Don't
touch with
play
the who's
into
who. And now I have a pre-offer, the letter I accepted on Monday. I'm in the background screening right now, and I'm gonna be the North American rep, passport in hand. We're based out of Switzerland. We have connections to Berlin, and we import from Nicaragua, Ecuador, and Dominican Republic. The soil they use have less glyphosate, herbicide, pesticides than what we use in American crops, our soil. So you'll have a better, like a least amount of chemicals in the tobacco. So when you're absorbing it in through your bloodstream, it's a healthier way to enjoy a historic craft. And yeah, so my non-smoking.
Unfortunately, we're at the top of the hour, and this conversation is done. Let's hit a break and shut this conversation down. We'll be back after the top of the hour.
Non-smoking is the thing.
Hey guys, this is Kelvin Gastelum. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Vice President J.D. Vance met with Israel's Prime Minister today, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be heading to the region. Holly Williams reports it's part of a diplomatic blitz to keep the Gaza peace plan alive amid growing concerns about whether Hamas will disarm.
Many are skeptical that the group, which is designated a terrorist organization by the U.S., will ever hand over its weapons as stipulated in the peace plan. And some here in Israel are not convinced that Prime Minister Netanyahu will stick to the agreement either. One of Netanyahu's fiercest critics, a former advisor to several Israeli foreign ministers, told us that Netanyahu agreed to the ceasefire under pressure from the U.S., but does not want to look as if he failed to defeat Hamas.
The International Court of Justice said today Israel is obligated to allow more aid into Gaza. Paul Reichler is a counsel for Palestine at the court.
I don't see how a reasonable person, certainly acting in good faith, could then say that Israel has complied with its international legal obligations. Plainly, it has not.
President Trump is hosting the NATO Secretary General at the White House this afternoon. Mark Rutte is bringing with him a European plan for peace in Ukraine. Day 22 of the government shutdown and more of the same on Capitol Hill.
As soon as Chuck Schumer reopens the government, all of our members will have an opportunity to engage.
The president should meet with us. It's not me, him, or anything political. It's that the people are in crisis.
Health insurance costs are rising faster than inflation, as Michael Wallace reports.
The nonprofit KFF surveyed 1,800 employers and found the cost of their family health insurance plans rose 6% this year to $27,000. Insurers blame rising rates of illnesses like cancer in the working age population. More employers are passing the burden on to their employees in the form of higher deductibles and co-payments. Richmond, Virginia school teacher Sequoia Ross just learned her family deductible will go up another $500 next year.
Right now, everything is expensive. I don't need my insurance to also be a thorn in my side.
Stacey Lynn looks at a new study on alcohol and blood pressure.
Drinking light to moderate amounts of alcohol can increase your blood pressure, which raises the risk of cardiovascular disease. But a new study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology also found that when you cut back on the booze or stop drinking altogether, your BP can go down in a big way. Even slight changes in alcohol consumption, particularly among women, can improve blood pressure and heart health.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are lower. The Dow Jones Industrials off 378 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hey, this is the A-Hole Show. Wes Sims here, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris, my main man.
All right, we're back. Final hour of this cluster.
I want to take my last statement back. I thought the cigar industry would be the best job, but no, I think I want to join ICE, because watching your Stagecoach video, Leslie, it would be so easy to find out who's trying to come into our country illegally. They're all in a line. They've got flags. They're proud of where they came from. They're on horses. It would be so easy. You don't even have to have a car. You just run up next to them, like, pull this thing over. Like, that's the easiest job in the world.
They got lost.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Lost at the border,
You
man.
couldn't have kept up with them.
What?
Don't say that you're just going to run up alongside of them. You couldn't have kept up with that.
Of course, they were walking. Those horses were walking. They weren't even running.
No, they don't run in wagon trails.
Yeah, so it's so easy to catch illegal aliens.
there's-
So you're going to run up. Are you going to run up to the back horse, the front horse? What horse are you going to run up to? Just so we can get started.
We got to pull over the first one, right?
All right. So you're going to run up to the first one and try to keep up as they continue to go. Now, how are you going to have the horse pull over since it's already on the side?
There's four horses to a wagon and stuff.
Right.
Sometimes it was like a real wagon trail. It was nuts.
Right. Well, at the very front was one dude on a horse.
All you have to do is just run up next to him and be like, whoa! They didn't stop. They're trained.
No, one. Here's the thing: like you'd think that they would jump, but there was one truck I pulled over. But there's one big truck. If you keep watching it, that flies by, and the horses didn't even. They weren't even phased. The baby. They were tough Texan horses, man. They were like,
I'd go dig up Mr. Ed, and then I'd run up next to him and have Mr. Ed talk to him, be like, pull this thing over.
What's your prediction? Let's just for the next 30 seconds, let's talk about this weekend's UFC heavyweight title. I keep saying he has to earn it before he defends it. He was given, Tom Aspinall was given the heavyweight title when John Jones retired. I always disagree with you. Once you win it, you are a champ. You always say you have to defend it. In this case, I want him to earn it before he defends it. Tom Aspinall against Cyril Gane.
Yeah, he's got to earn it. I mean, that's just obvious. I mean, he shouldn't even have the conversation to be mentioned in the same sentence with John Jones because he's done nothing yet. So, I mean, well, time will tell if he deserves to be in that conversation and even have a chance to fight John. But you got to take care of Gagne before anybody even gives you any kind of credit.
I agree. You've got to win the title first. And I'm a firm believer you don't have to beat John Jones to be the champion. You just have to win the title.
Yeah, but beating Gagne is not going to make you a champion in people's eyes.
Sure it will.
No, he's never been a champion before.
It doesn't matter. This is for, even though it's not, because they handed him the heavyweight title. With John Jones retiring, whether he still had the fake belt or not, the interim fake, I'll step up when and if, not his issue. It was John Jones's. If he then fights the number one contender, or whoever they deem as the number one. Because as you know, a lot of times the champion doesn't fight number one. He'll fight 2, 3, 4, 6. It don't matter. If he goes and beats Gane, then yes, he's the heavyweight champion. He didn't defend the title because he never won the title.
Right.
Win the title and then defend it.
But I think you got to beat somebody like, you know.
Well, it doesn't, because there is nobody in the heavyweight division right now.
Right.
Gane is next. He is the number 2 guy. It is what it is. It's just like I'll argue until I'm blue in the face about Tim Sylvia. It's not Tim Sylvia's fault that the only person that he could fight at that time was Andrei Arlovsky. He beat him 2 out of 3 times. Okay.
I'm going to throw in some verbiage here on this.
Okay, Busta.
I don't like the word defend. And here's why. In any aspect, especially with fighters, because I feel you just have to re-earn it. I think you have to re-earn the title. I know you're defending your title. I know you're the champion, but I still think it should be just say you've got to earn it again.
I never thought I would ever hear myself. I never thought I would ever hear myself say what I'm about to say. Matt, talk more about yourself.
So the re-earn, the re-earn is what we're going to put Randy's ashes in when he dies after his next weight cut from his cremation. We're going to put him in the re-earn, and I'm going to put it right here on my desk behind me. The re-earn.
Did Jews get cremated? Is that anything? It's like, is that a choice?
Well, well, see, it's kind of crazy because no, Jews are not supposed to get, but again,
I wondered
who dies and tells you how to die, right? First of all. Second, most
who comes
most VAs don't have for caskets. So in order to be buried in most VAs, you have to be cremated.
I didn't know that.
Well,
so when they ship me out to wherever up in Central Florida or something,
well,
I'm going to be dust.
No, I think they're the one that's north of here, and I don't know where it is, Ocala or whatever.
I thought.
Right, does have caskets. Bay Pines in St. Petersburg has no caskets. It's all by cremation.
Interesting. Probably because they don't have enough land.
That's partly. Let's talk about another controversy. I just did text Christine Ferreira, scheduled to be on at the bottom of the hour. This whole Bad Bunny BS.
Oh gosh, with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl, Bad Bunny, and I don't know how true the other one is for, Charlie Kirk, and they're going to do blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Honestly.
Well, it's like, why are they politicizing? Bad Bunny, first of all, is an American. He's Puerto Rican.
Sort of.
He's an American.
Sort of.
But he's a Christian. No, he's not sort of an American. He is American. He has an American passport. He has an American Social Security number. Right. He was born with an American passport and an American Social Security number because he is Puerto Rican, right. Which is an American territory.
American, right?
Where those, and they even it's not a state, but it's American. Okay, so we have to let go of the idea that being Americans, it just means is you're from the United States, the states. We extend beyond that. We have American Samoa, we have Puerto Rico, we have other places that we can go. If you and I want to go work, Texas is almost a territory and not a state, but it is still a state. Let me tell you, living here, there is so much interstate patriotism here. It is something else. Like even when you go to Walmart, which again is the only thing in town, it'll be like this text, like even brand name foods will have something like Texans love this or Texans.
All right, let's get back to Bad Bunny. Let's get back to let's get back to Bad Bunny.
So my point here is it's just because he's brown, man. It's because he has brown skin. He's a Latino. People are raising arms.
Well, that's not why. That's not why. What people are up in arms about, and here's the only thing that I'm up in arms about it. Okay, I could care less. I'm not going to watch, not because it's Bad Bunny, but because I don't normally watch the halftime show. That's the time that you walk out and you eat, you do all the stuff that you do. Unless it's going to go back to 2002 when Shania Twain did the halftime. I don't care.
Or the Scorpions. The Scorpions get up there.
Yeah, I could care less. How about Matt? Matt, do you care? You still got that drum set?
No, I threw my Scorpion drum set away.
Okay, perfect. We'll leave it at that. So here's what my comment about Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny made a comment that he's not going to tour the United States because of ICE and because of his fans and because of whatever, I'm okay with that. Then why are you going to perform at the Super Bowl? You have standards until the standards doesn't meet your standards, and you can get better standards by doing the Super Bowl.
It's a bigger issue than that. The bigger issue is he's
No,
going to
hold
sing
on,
all
hold
his
on,
songs.
hold on. It's not my bigger issue. Whatever
but
you're
the
going to say
people-
might be
but
his
the-
bigger issue.
Well, no, the people's issue is that he's going to sing all of his songs in Spanish, and he said he's not going to sing it in English. That people, if they want to listen to the halftime show, they're going to have to listen to it in Spanish because he's not going to accommodate. And so, in places like where we live in South America, Florida, Spanish is almost becoming the first language, right? I mean, it's
In Miami,
people-
sure.
In Miami, you walk into a store, they start with Spanish, then they're like,
They start with
"Oh,
Spanish.
you're American. Now we have to speak English because you don't understand." So
Yeah.
from Miami up, Spanish is becoming the national language, and which makes sense because look, we just celebrated Christopher Columbus, the greatest American to never touch soil, and he was Italian, but he was backed by the Spain, by the
Totally.
Spanish kings, and then he got
And he
lost in
never
the
came to
Caribbean.
America.
Right, he never
And
came
he
here.
committed genocide.
And I don't know I don't know what you know about Italian culture, but I was in it for 20 years as a pizza guy. I've never met anyone with the last name Columbus. So anyway,
I've been to Columbus.
yeah, but look, St. Augustine, Florida, and the Spanish found the Fountain of Youth, and so Spanish is the first language of North America.
Well, you're
And
right.
so-
Well, actually, no, it's not. It's not. It would be many Native American Indian dialects. But if you want to say, as a country of what we are now, if we want to say Westernization, because obviously Navajo, Cherokee, Iroquois, we go on and on and on about the languages that were spoken here before the Western civilizations arrived, right? But yeah, Spanish over English, sure, I'll go with that. I don't have a problem with it. You know what? I'll tell you something that happened to me in Miami a few years back. This was
Well, let's keep
crazy.
this on Bad Bunny because I still got 2 more comments about Bad Bunny.
Well, I went. It's kind of like okay. I went into a Panera Bread and I ordered, and just like Matt said, they started with Spanish. They said something in Spanish, and I ordered in English, and she said something back to me in Spanish. I asked her a question. She kept talking in Spanish to me, and I was like, "No, I know she could have spoken English, but she was just rolling her eyes at me and wouldn't speak English." So I started speaking German. And then all of a sudden, she started speaking English to me. It was such a weird thing. And so it really was. And so, but I just want to say, I'm not German, but I knew enough German just to kind of show her, hey, what are you doing here? But
All right, back to Bad Bunny.
So Spanish is everywhere. What is the big deal? Like, who cares? Let's expand our cultural, or just expand our mindsets. Enjoy 15 minutes of a Spanish show. Who cares?
I mean,
It doesn't have to.
The Beatles did the halftime show, and they sang it in their natural language.
Yeah, Liverpoolian is really odd.
Boom.
Oh, you know what I mean? John.
People were up in arms that Bad Bunny, who will be performing at the Super Bowl, sat during, I think it was the 7th inning stretch where they played, I don't know, America the Beautiful or something.
Take me out to the ball game?
Well, no, I think it was America the Beautiful or something. And other people were standing. They're not standing because of the damn song. They're standing because it's the 7th inning stretch, and they're stretching their legs because they want to get the hell out of it.
For 2 hours.
Like, take me out to the ball game.
They didn't.
Well, don't they always play? Wait a minute. Don't they always play "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"? The 7th inning? That's why you stand.
Well,
I've never heard "America's Beautiful." Then
you don't stand for either one. You don't have to stand.
Take me out to the ball game. No, you don't have to. I just do it to sing the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game,"
Right.
and
But
because
people,
it's traditional.
people on the other side, and again, I argue with both. I'm in the middle of an argument with another moron, about who was ripping the president, and I go, me being me, I go, oh, you're mad at your president, and of course he lost, whatever. Who cares if Bad Bunny sat during the 7th inning stretch? If you want to be mad because he's going to do whatever, fine. Don't be mad for no stupid reason. The only time
I'm just mad they don't have Enrique. Yeah, they don't have Enrique instead. I want me some Enrique Iglesias to look at. I don't want to look at Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny's bigger. Bad Bunny is massive.
Oh,
he's massive.
Massive.
No, he's not as big as Enrique Iglesias.
I bet he
Enrique
is.
Iglesias,
Way bigger.
I bet he
at this
is.
very moment, he's hotter, but he's not bigger. He's hotter in the sense of being like the it guy right now. Yeah.
He's big.
But okay, so that's fair. But overall, he ain't bigger than Enrique Iglesias. Give us another 5
sure he
years. And,
No, he is right now. He is bigger right now than Enrique.
He's hot.
He's bigger.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He's not bigger than Elvis either. But he's
Who mentioned Elvis?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Elvis.
Oh,
is
now
the
you're going to
biggest-
throw in somebody else. Well, of course not. Elvis is Elvis.
right, but Enrique is the biggest. He first of all
But kind
worldwide.
of, hold on. But kind of the
and
same
especially
thing,
in
though.
the Latino area. Huh? Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, though. That's what made Elvis so big, was that he was so
'Cause he died.
controversial. Well, because of his sexism and with his hips and the way he was doing rock and roll. So the controversy made him a bigger star because everybody talked about it and you either hated it or loved it. Bad Bunny is getting that same kind of love-hate. And I think there's more of a Spanish influence in the NFL than people realize. I think it's going to be the biggest concert or halftime show that you've seen in maybe the last 10 years since Prince or, or before, like Michael Jackson. I think this is going to be huge. I think Bad Bunny is by far the greatest pick, and they need this controversy to drum up the excitement and notoriety for it. Because we had the Weeknd do it a couple years ago, and nobody knew who the Weeknd was.
It's because he's Canadian. At least Bad Bunny's an American.
Justin Bieber is Canadian. Everybody knows who Justin Bieber is. That's not why. That's
So's
silly.
the Weeknd.
So the Weeknd is. I think they knew their songs. That was one of the worst halftime shows. It was so strange to me.
You know what the worst
Usher was
halftime show
pretty
would
bad.
ever be? The worst would be is if they let George Strait do it. Like there's petitions online to replace Bad Bunny with George Strait. It's going to take 6 more months to tell everybody who the hell George Strait is. Like no one's going to know who that guy is up there on stage. So it's going to be awful.
Listen,
What
I'll
do they
tell you
call-
something.
what do they call it in
most
the,
of the
the-
miracles?
What do they call it in the Spanish
Strait's
culture? That movie Coco Loco, where the ofenda or whatever, like when you cross over. That's what George Strait looks like in real life. He looks like the skeleton when you go back over the bridge to see your dead.
The Day of the Dead.
Yeah,
The Day of the Dead.
yeah. The Day of the Dead will be the Super Bowl halftime show if George Strait gets the bid. If they vote George Strait, it's the Day of the Dead for the NFL. It's over.
The Day of the Dead has already happened. It's this radio show. So let's go hit a break.
They're going to dig that dude back up and put him
Coming
on
to you
stage.
live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility with Busta Lip and the other guy. We'll be
Mr.
right
Ed.
back. Mr.
Where is Mr. Ed? Come on, Ed, chime in.
Ed's not here.
Oh, what a while I was having a good time.
Hey, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, WBC heavyweight champion of the world, and you're listening to Knockout Radio. Bam, baby. Good night.
Got bills?
Look at this. Look at this. Just showing you a little bit of the Western garb here. It's all wet. It's all. Look at this, Randy. Randy, look at that. Look how Western it is.
Do what?
Look how Western it is. I'm just showing you all the Western garb in here. Even the lamps. They're Rams. That's so awesome.
727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
thought I was kidding about the steer horns.
Berg, right across from the crowd.
Steer horns. Check this out, Matt.
Are in their heads and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong.
All right, we're back.
Hey, it's Sebastian Bourdais, two-time Firestone Grand Prix winner, driver of the Honda number 18 for the Racing Class, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we're back. What are you saying, Matt?
Anybody there?
Matt.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh my God. He's the
Matt?
best. All right,
Matt
so
attack?
let me just kick Matt
Can
out.
we talk about Baker Mayfield for a moment?
I was going to. That's what I wanted to bring up before Christine Ferreira comes on at the bottom of the hour. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was that a bad game, or is that the future of the Tampa Bay Bucs?
Over.
It wasn't. I don't think it was a really bad game. I think that they're getting too much criticism because our defense over and over was able to stop them on fourth down, and our offense over and over was able to get fourth down. Okay, so I think that what it was Detroit's a good team. The Lions are a good team, and they're deep because they're hurt, and a lot of their defense was incredible. And I have never, you guys, the kind of energy that I saw in that Buccaneer Detroit game with Detroit was Super Bowl energy to me. I'm like, man, these.
You know who else was incredible? You know who else was incredible, even more than the Detroit Lions? Those referees were on point. How do you review a review that you've already reviewed?
Yeah.
Now, with that said,
yeah,
I do not believe that was a first down. I don't think Otten extended the ball. He had it the wrong way, because he wanted to make sure he didn't fumble. I don't think that ball, passed the line, but that wasn't what was reviewed. Detroit challenged whether it was a completion, which it was. The ground can't cause a fumble, which it did, so it wasn't a fumble. But they didn't challenge, did the ball reach over? They ruled it a first down. And Detroit challenged. So after they reviewed it and said he did catch it and this, that, the other, then they reviewed the review.
I know. They were reviewing whether or not he got a first down.
No, they were reviewing whether it was a catch.
Whether or not it was a catch.
Right. Because he fumbled.
Like it was a catch.
Right. It was a catch. And then they came back after the review and said, after review, it was a catch. The only person who can extend, the play of a fumble on a fourth down is the person who fumbled. So he didn't recover it. And then they said, but it was a first down. Okay, great. Now you're getting ready to go play on the first down. And then they reviewed the review. That didn't get challenged. Really the challenge was it a first down? The challenge was that he fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
But whatever, one play doesn't make it. But don't tell me that Mike Evans wasn't, pass interference wasn't being held before he ripped his shoulder off. And I would not be surprised if we never see Mike Evans play again.
Well, he's broken a collarbone.
Correct.
I read that today, that his collarbone is broken. So he's going to be out, and he had a concussion, I believe.
Correct.
So when he hit the ground, I was just like, I knew immediately that's a concussion. Because if you guys, Matt, we all talk about concussions a lot, and Matt is really informed on concussions as well. But I'll tell you what, when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's out. But Randy, you called it. You called it last week. You said we should not play Mike. He's not quite ready. We need to give him another week or two. And I was arguing about it because you said if you put him in there, now granted, doesn't seem like a hamstring. We don't know everything yet, but he laid himself out and he broke that collarbone. And I think he'll probably, if we're lucky, we'll have him maybe for the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think he comes back. I think the only reason he came back was because he was tied with Jerry Rice for the most 1,000-yard seasons consecutively. He wanted to break that record this season, go off into the sunset. Behind a Baker that was winning and the momentum, and if it ended in a Super Bowl, then amazing. He could walk off as a champion. But now with this injury and concussion, I think he takes the Ali Marpet and he's like, you know what? There's more important things in life than football, and I've done everything I can do on this gridiron. I'm done.
Let's welcome to the program. We are waiting for Christine Ferreira to call in. She is in Rome, Italy for BKFC Chris Camozzi fights this weekend. But is Mike Straka at the pizza shop?
Look at Mike Straka doing pizza stuff.
Yo, Mike.
How are you guys?
I want a vegetarian, Mike. I want a vegetarian pizza, man.
Yeah, she doesn't eat meat. You know, that's what we
used to.
So you don't want the sausage?
No,
yeah,
not
no
today.
sausage.
I got what do I got here? I got a margarita pie.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
So, Mike, let me ask you this. We talked about, and you were you're the reason that Frankie Edgar called in before his fight. We've had David Feldman on since. Frankie has, responded to the posts. Then David has responded. Have you found out anything else up there, and do you want to comment on the situation with Frankie Edgar and BKFC?
Well, what have you heard?
Well, I've heard both. I've read, what Frankie has said, that, he was told that his medicals were turned down, this, that, the other, but he hadn't even turned his medicals in yet. That's what he said. And then Dave Feldman was on, and he said that their doctor chose the decision and told Dave Feldman that it wasn't in the best interests of BKFC with Frankie and his health and this, that, the other to allow the fight to go on. Basically, that's the two sides that I've heard.
I've heard both of those sides too, and obviously they're both going to stick to their sides of the story. I mean, listen, I even heard last night randomly at a Buffalo Wild Wings the story that has been going around here in Tom's River, New Jersey, where Frankie lives, is that they never intended to pay Frankie Edgar. Like, they offered him all this money to use his name for the card. They didn't sell enough tickets. And even Dave Feldman said that at the press conference. We didn't sell as many tickets as we wanted to sell, which leads me to believe there's some truth to the story there. So I'm not really sure exactly what to believe anymore. I want to believe David. I want to believe Frankie. But Frankie pretty much sticking to his story that he was told that, from what I heard, he was offered part of his purse to say he got injured. I didn't confirm that, and I'm not really giving much credence to it, but that's the story that's also going around. They said, here, Frank, just say you got injured, back out of the fight, we'll give you a quarter of your purse. I'm not sure if that's true. I don't know. That's a story that I'm hearing as well. So there's a lot of, listen, Seth Petroselli said that Gary Shaw told him to stand up with Kimbo Slice when he was fighting him. And he did, and he knocked him out with a jab. He said, don't take Kimbo down and I'll pay you extra money if you don't take him down. So these things do happen. I'm not saying it's happened in this instance, but it does happen. It's not unheard of. Anyhow, I just, for me to comment on this, I don't know. All I know is what I'm hearing. I didn't talk to Frankie about this. Frankie's a friend of mine, and I'm not going to broach a subject with him. I'm going to take him at his word. As a journalist, I have to take David Feldman at his word. So it's one of those situations that I think ended badly for everybody, and it's getting worse. And I just think both sides should have just not said anything. I think, David at the post-fight press conference said, in this instance, we had to protect the fighter from himself. And I think that might have rubbed Frankie the wrong way. And as well as I do, Randy, when it comes to athletic commissions, especially in New Jersey, Nick Limbo doesn't mess around. There's been many times where he's pulled fighters off cards at the last minute. This didn't come from the commission. This came from the BKFC doctors. That, to me, is not normal. It's just not normal. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's the doctors for the promotion saying, oh, no, he can fight. He's fine to fight because they don't want to lose the money. They don't want to lose the card. Here's the opposite. Oh, our doctor said that he's not cleared. So that to me is suspect. I find that hard to believe.
Well, you and I both know, because we're both friends with the UFC doctor, and I know that there has been times when Jeff Davidson has said the same thing and has pulled fighters. Now, is it rare? Yeah, it probably is, but it has happened before, so we do know that. I'm where I'm kind of going back and forth on.
Hold on.
Principle. Go ahead, Mike. What?
Can you hear me?
Mike, well, you're coming in and out. What?
Yeah.
You told me to stop.
I said Dr. Jeff has never pulled a headliner off a.
Well, I didn't say a headliner.
I've never-
I just said that he has pulled a fighter before.
Yeah, okay. I believe that, but not a headline fight. You know, this was the headline fight in New Jersey with two New Jersey native UFC veteran fighters going against each other. And I just thought it was weird that the promotion doctor is the one who pulled Frankie.
No, I understand.
To me, that makes no sense. So the stories I'm hearing is that, oh no, they never planned on paying Frankie. They wanted to use his name to sell tickets, and if he sold enough tickets, then they'd be happy to pay him. But they didn't sell enough tickets, and I don't know how much money it was. You and I talked about this, and Matt, we talked about it for leading up to the fight. I thought it was $250,000. Somebody said it was closer to $1 million. You know, that's a lot of money, man. If you're just making enough money to cover your production, and you got to pay Frankie $800,000, that's a lot of money. Sure. And I can understand why, if we didn't sell enough tickets, let's figure a way out of this. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm hearing that's what happened. I've never confirmed it. And, certainly everybody's got their own story. But for David Feldman to go out in a post-fight press conference and say, in this instance, we had to protect the fighter from himself because fighters will go out in their shield. I think if that wasn't the case and David said it, if I were Frankie, I'd be really upset with that.
Well, and obviously he is, because he's made, numerous statements, numerous comments. Dave Feldman said on the show, I think it was last week, that they didn't pay, I guess, the whole thing, but they paid him more than what he has ever made in the UFC. I don't know if that matters. Does the amount of money that he was paid, does that matter at all?
No, doesn't matter. If you're going to ruin my reputation, and now if I had a chance to fight in another promotion, you've just hurt my chances of getting another fight ever for the rest of my career.
Yeah, to get licensed. So out of principle, and this is what I'm arguing with, and Matt, you know me well enough, Leslie, you know me well enough, that this is my big thing right now out of principle. Do you then say, no, I'm not taking the money that you're going to give me to not fight? Or being me, do I take the money and tell you to shove it and walk away?
Are you asking me that?
Anybody. Anybody want to respond to that is fine. I mean, I understand Frankie's upset. Then out of principle, do you say, no, we agreed to, you pulled me, that ain't right, and you do it in courts? Or do you take whatever BKFC is giving you?
Oh man, that's a tough one, because I mean, he's a father, he's got kids, he's got a family, he's got a gym.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you take the money, as much as you want to stand up for your principle and be like, this isn't right. But at the same time, look, I know it didn't happen, but I'm kind of happy that it didn't happen, because I mean, look, Paulie Malignaggi just went into the bare knuckle in a different organization and just got cut up. I mean, he went into a battle with Tyler Goodjohn. And I didn't want to see Paulie like that. I mean, I see him on Wednesday nights at Pro Box in Plant City commentating. He looks good as an expert. I don't need to see these legends go back in the bare knuckle thinking, oh, it's exciting again, and maybe I should get back in there, and then have the permanent scars and damage. I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. I mean, I'd rather just keep the memories of Frankie the way that they were, and let it be.
But we've talked about that as well. Who are you? Who am I? Who is Mike? Who is Leslie? Who is the fans? Who are the promoters? This is what they do. Frankie has fought for 30 years. He's still training in the gym, maybe not to the extent of a bare knuckle fight, but it's what they do. It's what they love. It's what they live for. And who are we to tell somebody that we're going to protect you? If you can't protect yourself, if you don't have the right people around you to protect yourself, I know that I told Tyrone Booze when he went and defended and didn't defend the WBO Cruiserweight champ. Everybody in his entourage was lying to him and was telling him things. And I took him to the side and I told him the truth. and then you make the decision what you want to do. That falls on Frankie. Frankie was ready to fight, willing to fight, and who are we to say no? Don't go make money.
Did you tell Booze in German or in Spanish?
Hebrew.
Because Leslie could translate for you. She's our German correspondent.
Mike, what are your thoughts about this weekend's heavyweight fight?
Hold on a second, guys. I got to run back in. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I forgot to take that pizza out of the oven.
Yeah, you might want to go in there. All right, so
he's going to look up who the fight card is because he doesn't know, just like none of us know.
No, I think
Gagne.
Evan.
No, because Gagne is, like literally Gagne is headlining it, so nobody cares.
Well, no, Gagne's not headlining it.
Or Aspinall, but
nobody
still cares. Nobody's even talked about it this week. I didn't even know there was a fight this week until you mentioned it.
Well, like I said, the beauty is it's early, so it's no late nighter. I think it's afternoon because it's 6 hours ahead. So what would normally start at 10 is going to start at 4. That's great.
But just like John Jones said before, the French are notorious for surrendering and throwing in the towel. So I would be surprised if Gagne's already lost. As of today, what time is it?
Mike,
2:38 on Wednesday.
Mike, your thoughts on this weekend's heavyweight title?
Well, I feel bad for Cyril Gane, honestly. I mean, this guy is he's like the last man standing in the heavyweight division. And it seems like he's always getting fights, which is great for him. It's good he's making money on it. But I don't think he has a shot beating Aspinall. Not a shot.
I mean, I agree. I think Tom wins, but how many fans, and we started the show with this, how many John Jones fans, how many fans that do not believe John Jones, and I hate to use the word ducked Tom and didn't want to fight Tom, is rooting for Tom to lose, because that would throw the whole heavyweight division into a total mess. I don't think it's going to happen. I also don't think it's going to happen what Tom has predicted in a knockout within the first 60 seconds.
Well, I mean, no matter what happens, if Cyril wins, that does, like you said, that throws everything off, considering John destroyed Cyril, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I feel bad for Cyril. I'm happy he's making money, but I think it was what are the options? What are the other options that Dana White has in that division for Tom Aspinall?
Nobody.
Exactly. It's a shame. So here's Cyril, it's almost like, when Nate Diaz says he was fishing on a boat and said he got a call and said, "Can you fight Conor McGregor?" He said, "Sure. I can't make 155, but I'll fight him at $170." That's kind of like Cyril's fishing on a boat and gets a call from Dana saying, "Hey, you want to fight Aspinall this weekend?" "Sure. Cool. I'm in."
Well, but again, where is I don't know if he's the number one contender, but I know he's top whatever because that's just the way the division is right now.
I think Matt McClellan is top 3 in the heavyweight division.
Don't tell him that; he'll believe you.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm also part French. I'm quarter French. I'm from Provence, southern France.
I'm from Nice, France, because I'm nice.
I don't even eat bread unless it's French. And my fries, when I go to McDonald's, I'm just like, give me the fries. I don't even say French fries. They already know.
All right, and I just pulled it up. So Gane is the number one contender. He is ranked number 1. Then Volkov is 2, Pavlich is 3, Curtis Blades 4. So the heavyweight division is not that impressive.
No, it's not. I mean, if you talk to Randy Couture, it happened. This happens in the UFC heavyweight division often. When Randy was the 2 title holder, he said the reason I went up to heavyweight from 205 is because there was nobody there. I knew I could win.
Right.
So he had 2 belts.
Do you consider, we talked about this earlier as well, do you consider Tom Aspinall the heavyweight champ? I mean, he is the champ because they gave him the title. I wanted him to win the title. They should have left it. He's the interim. Gane is the number 1 contender. They're going to fight for the heavyweight title. To me, he's not defending a title that he never won. It was given to him.
Listen, I think the heavyweight division for a long time has been in flux. I mean, I really wish Dan Cormier stayed at heavyweight when he came from Strikeforce. I don't know, man. What was the last great heavyweight champion? Stipe.
Tim Sylvia.
I disagree with that. I mean, Stipe was a good champion.
Stipe was good. You know, I don't consider
the greatest by the numbers, the most title defenses of all heavyweight champions of all time.
Right.
And how many was it?
4.
4.
You know, even Brock, you know, what did he have? 2 title defenses?
And hold on. So Stipe defended the title 4 times. Is that what you're saying, Matt?
Yeah.
I hate to say this. How many times did Tim Sylvia defend the title?
I don't know.
Google it. Look it up. I'd be curious. I don't know, but it could be 4. So, and I'm not saying Tim's the greatest. I'm not saying that Stipe's the greatest. I'm certainly not saying, because I've never thought that Kane was the greatest. Everybody thought that he was the greatest. You know, bad things happened, and I'm not talking about the situation. I'm saying while he fought. You know, I didn't think that his run was that impressive.
Well, bad things happened with Brock too. I mean, he was on a tear, and then diverticulitis really ended his career.
I used to say some things about that, just so you know. I'll say it publicly. I'm like, come on, Brock. It's not that bad. My wife has it, and then she almost died from it. So we don't know. If you don't have it, you don't know how bad that is and what it can do.
That's
okay.
Correct.
So here's the research. Stipe had the most in the heavyweight division with 4 consecutive. George St. Pierre had the most in welterweight with 9. Anderson Silva had the longest title reign in UFC history, holding the middleweight title for 2,457 days. And Demetrius Johnson and John Jones held the record for the most UFC title defenses with 11 each. So Stipe had the streak for 4 consecutive at heavyweight. But John Jones and Demetrius Johnson had 11 defenses tied for overall.
Okay, that's all great, Matt, but we asked about Tim Sylvia.
Right.
Tim Sylvia, I can answer that. Tim Sylvia successfully defended the UFC heavyweight title 3 times in his career across 2 rings.
Thank you, Leslie.
Okay, thank you. All right, so like I said, I didn't say that he matched Stipe, but everybody makes Stipe out to be, because he defended 4, Tim Sylvia, who everybody loves to hate, you know, for numerous reasons, defended it 3 and won it twice. So just because you don't like him, or just because of something.
Tim Sylvia never fought Francis Ngannou.
No, well, again, you know, we can't blame who's there. You know, we all still make fun of when BYU won the national title. It's not BYU's fault that everybody they played was awful.
Did Louisville just beat Miami yesterday? Was that yesterday? Did Miami just lose? Oh, was it to Louisville?
I think it was last week.
Yeah. And I saw another miracle thing. There's 2 seconds left on the game, and the quarterback threw it out of bounds, and the other team got the ball. Hail Mary.
No, there was one game. All they had to do was kneel.
You're right.
And instead they throw a pass that gets picked off. Another guy, all he had to do was hold on to the ball. He fumbles and it's returned. I blame coaching for that. Yeah. You know, there was a situation not too long ago in an NFL game where the guy got the first down and he went right to the ground, because that's what you do when there's like a minute left, because then time's going to run out. But no, everybody thinks of themselves and a touchdown and points and records and all this stuff. You got to know situations. That first baseman, or the pitcher of the Philadelphia Phillies, who didn't know there was 2 outs and bases loaded when he choked and threw the ball over the catcher's head, instead of turning and throwing to first and making the out and going into the next inning.
Well,
how do you not know the situations?
But when it comes to stats and okay, I'm going to go down to win the game to secure the victory versus, hey, I can get an extra 70 yards on my totals at the end of the year when the agent gets involved and they start negotiating new contracts and new terms against other positions and skilled positions at the same league, then it's based on numbers. And they don't know, they don't go back and watch games individually to find out, oh, those 70 yards didn't come in real competition because the game was already over. You know, so a lot of those things matter individually, not as a team sport, but for their own personal benefit.
I'm going to be the naive one, okay? I'm the general manager, okay, of whatever team. You know what your players have done. You know what players are selfish and what players are team players. I mean, you know that up front. So if you're in the negotiation stuff, that should come up. Now, whether the agent has to bring it up and say, hey, he could have done this, he could have done that. Remember the game against Boston? Remember the game against New Orleans where blah, blah, blah? First of all, they're going to remember it. Teams remember that stuff. I understand what you're saying. And when it comes to negotiations, you're right. Another touchdown could get you a bonus. Another this could get you. But if the organization is being run properly, then those things have to come out on both sides.
All right, guys, I got to jump, guys. I'm sorry. Like I said, my pizza guy didn't show up today, so I'm making pizzas all day.
All right, we'll get back to work. Thanks.
Dude,
Thanks.
put me in, Coach.
Thanks
Hey,
for
Jack,
jumping in.
call me.
We want to be with Mike right now. We want the pizza.
I want to make pizza with Mikey. I want Mikey to be my boss.
Well, get on a plane, move to what is it? Not Falls River, Little River. Tom's River. I knew it was a river. Home of the Little League World Series champs.
Leslie, send me one of your stage coaches, and I'll take that thing over to Jersey. I'll be there by winter.
Crazy, man. I did one on that chuck wagon though, because I was like, they got food on that, man. I want me some good beans on toast.
Look, I did ride a bicycle to New York once. I mean, I could be there in 14 days if I really got on it. I could ride up there and start working, making some pizzas, and send money back, south of the border, like like the good old days.
Wow.
Where was the original pizza made? I heard it was actually New York, the original pizza, not Italy. Italy was more like the lasagna thing, but the early Americans really turned it into the pizza as we know it today. Is this true?
Well, no, it really became popularized when the war, when the U.S. soldiers went over to Italy and the World War, then that's when it really became a staple. And they brought it back and they made it part of the family dinner and cuisine here in America. But pizza was always flatbreads left over from the bakeries, started in Greece and then migrated to Italy. Then they imported the tomato from South America. And so the modern day pizza was basically a flatbread that evolved and now into what we know as New York style pizza and different style. But pizza's got a long history. It's actually from the 1700s. And I got to make a pizza in the oldest pizzeria in Naples, Italy. The owner, I took my family by train. We went down, took us a couple hours to get there from Rome. We get down there, walk into the oldest pizzeria in the world. The owner speaks no English, so I wish I would have had you translate while I was there. But he's seventh generation. It's called Pizza Antica at the Portabella. And the concept was your last free meal, because if you died in the 8 days that you had to pay your tab off because of the weather and the harshness or the war, then your last meal on earth was free. So that was their slogan. And so it was the seventh generation owner. I asked if I could make a pizza in the oldest kitchen in the world. He said no. He had no interest in any of it until I showed him a picture of my phone with Hulk Hogan and I. And then he recognized Hogan, took my phone, showed it to everyone in the restaurant. Then I became a celebrity. And then the kitchen, and I made a pizza in the oldest pizzeria. He looked at his staff and he's like, "Did you make that for him?" And then he realized I was one of them. And then it was hugs and kisses on my cheek. And I was like
Matt, you weasel your way into things. It's unbelievable how you got this job too. Well, I'm saying you show the picture, and then all of a sudden you're in. That's kind it's impressive weaseling. It's not a negative weaseling.
You're an impressive weasel.
Wait till I'm Secret Service. Wait till I'm Secret Service inspector for the UFC fight card at the White House.
I don't doubt it.
I'm coming. I'm definitely going to be there.
You already got it. How in the world does someone who doesn't smoke cigars and has no experience with tobacco and who gets basically turned down for a job then talks them in to creating this whole nother business venture that he can push, and they buy it and give him a job? It's fascinating.
Right, hold on. Let me tell you a story, because I texted this and Matt wanted the answer and I said, absolutely not. I will say it live on the radio. So I was watching something, I believe it was Saturday, so it must have been Game Day or whatever with Pat McAfee. And they were talking to Nick Saban. And they talked to him about after they won the national championship. And I barely was listening, so I don't know the whole story, and I'm probably getting it wrong. But somehow the word that upsets me more than any, cigars, came up. So they started to talk about cigars. And one of the commentators, and I don't remember which one, asked, well, do you smoke them or do you chew them? And he said, I chew them.
Yeah. Hey, and he's looking like he's the front runner for the Swamp to take over the University of Florida head coaching job. And I can help him because that old school coaching mentality doesn't work in today's modern era. These kids have too much money, NIL deals. So if he really wants to coach at University of Florida, I can help that program immensely. We can help these kids where they don't have to practice so long on the field to learn the playbook. We can just stimulate the subconscious like Allen Iverson, like practice. We can accelerate the process. They'll enjoy the game more. And we can make University of Florida #1 champions again in the Swamp.
I do know who's behind that too, Leslie. I know schools that have reached out to Florida. Georgia has reached out. Alabama has reached out. Notre Dame, Michigan, Penn State, they've all reached out to Florida, begging them to bring Matt in to help the Florida Gators. Nothing would please every team more than.
Yeah.
Listen,
Even
the reason Allen
Arkansas
Iverson
Razorbacks have put in yes. Yeah.
the Allen Iverson documentary is coming out this month. The reason he had to go to practice and he missed it and had a press conference to talk about how he missed practice was because old school coaches like Saban knew that repetition eventually becomes instinctive at the subconscious. But it takes hours and hours and days and months and years of repetition to become instinctive. And so when they needed that play to be there at a subconscious level, they needed to be conscious of the play clock and the substitutions, but subconsciously they were already programmed where to be on the field. And the reason that the old school coaches are losing that ability is because that drill sergeant mentality of leadership, coaching, yelling at a kid's dream doesn't work anymore. Kids don't respond to that. And my truck, the vertical gym, the Freedom
Changes
device,
all that. You get on the back of the truck and you think different. You can eat a Big Mac and a double quarter pounder while you're on the back of that
stimulates,
truck.
and then you have a 45-minute window to program what you need to know when you need it to be recalled in the moment. So you have the balance between conscious and subconscious on the biggest stage. And I absolutely can make a championship caliber program like University of Florida relevant again.
All right, here's my professional advice for you, knucklehead. Okay. Yeah. But you're too damn stubborn. All right. There is zero chance of you ever getting in with a major university right out of the blocks. You need to prove, if any of this is true, you need to prove it. You need to go to places you don't want to go, and the teams and organizations that are too below what you think you are. You start there, and that's how everybody moves up the chain. Everybody moves up the ladder.
So put Saban in when he quits 3 games into the season because the kids don't respond to his style of coaching, like Pitino and every other legendary coach that quits because they're not effective any longer as a leader. And then I'll be second in command. I'll take over and I'll win them a national championship in 18 months.
You'd be killed 3 days into being a coach at the Florida.
Nobody's going to kill me. You know who I am?
Listen,
I'm the non-smoking king of the world.
I would like to talk, we're talking SEC, the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Aaron Hernandez is looking for you, Matt.
There's a new shirt.
He's my soulmate, my bunkie.
Listen to this, guys. There's a new shirt that's coming out about the Razorbacks, and I love it. It's this new thing. It says, "We almost always almost win." Well, it is so good because that's the thing. You think that the Razorbacks, they've got a pretty good team, and now they've got the changeover in the coaching staff too, but they almost win. They're doing really good, and then they just kind of blow it in the last, quarter of the second half. But they give a great showing, so it's a great slogan.
Joe Marquis has always said that Chael Sonnen has won every round he hasn't lost.
It's true. Hey, speaking of rounds of loss, I got to go get my kids, so I'll see you guys next week. Love y'all.
That's the best thing you've said in the whole 3 hours you were on. No comment. All right, go get your kids. Get out of here. Let's kick them out of the room. Man. Let's kick them out of the room.
So I think on the Razorbacks, I just like to think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bobby Petrino. I think they're going to probably make him he's the interim coach right now, but they're already looking a little bit better. And this could change up maybe the SEC is how we know it. I'm just throwing that in there because I think we need to keep our eye on the Razorbacks.
And not to correct Matt once he leaves, I only want to correct him when he's here. Nick Saban is not going to be coming anytime soon or ever to the Florida Gators. The other guy who still owes the network a couple shirts, John Gruden, might at some point. But I don't know why, everybody, and I know he wants to coach again, but why would he leave what he's doing right now, making the kind of money that he's making right now, doing the things that he loves right now to get back into this rat race?
Look, I think that Gruden has a drive. I also think he's got a little bit of an ego with it, deep in there, and he's got something to prove. That's why I feel about him. First of all, the Bucs were never any good after he left until Brady showed up. They never were. Care anybody says, "Oh, Dungy built the team," whatever. And actually, Dungy didn't fully build the team, as you and I have both discussed with draft picks back in the day. But Gruden was able to tweak things enough, and it was a perfect storm. But we were never any good after that man left. And I'll tell you something: the Raiders were getting good. He just got messed up with the controversy. I think it was a long time before he came back around. He still has it in him. You can't give stuff up until you can't do it anymore. It's like Dan Marino.
You know what else? Until you can't do it anymore.
Done.
But there's something else that you just keep doing until you can't do it anymore, and that's the show. So the show is over. The 3 hours are gone. Enjoy Texas. We'll talk in the next couple of days about San Fran as we're putting the team together for Super Bowl, whatever number it is. Have fun in Texas. Thank everybody for tuning in. Until next week, this has been Knockout Radio.
Yeehaw.